It's Dark Souls, give it a bit.
Hello everybody, we are live. I do want to apologize for, the fucking problems we had earlier with internet. It seems now my internet provider decided that it was a good time to be a fucking dickhead about this. What's it called? Hopefully nothing bad should be happening at the moment. Actually, hold on. Are we even live? Can somebody verify?
Yes, we are.
Okay. Good to know. Fucking good to know. I just didn't want to see if we were, in like a private or unlisted stream. What's it called? It was gonna be very confusing for those who I shared the other link, because I had to redo the stream. So now, the other one's not gonna work. But whatever. What's it called? Apologies for that. But hey, welcome all back to Dark Souls Dirge of Drangleic. Before we begin, quick shout out to Sound Phenomenon for providing most of the background music that you guys are going to be hearing when we're not in combat. Shout outs to all the artists who have provided the art for the tokens and background that we're going to be using here. As well as shout out to my dog in the background. Shout out to Mintelis once again for the outstanding fan art that you're gonna be seeing on screen here. It still amazes us to this day, and we're gonna keep shouting out Mintelis until more fan art comes in. What's it called? With that out of the way, we're gonna get back to where we left off in the session, but we can still have somebody do a recap if they want to earn a DM inspiration. Whoever doesn't have one already.
I can go through.
Okay.
From what I vaguely remember.
Then take it away.
We had continued where we left off after exiting the old lady's hut. We interacted with the crows. Valencia, after some party dialogue, we offered them her petrified stone, from which she got a white ring. Then, we noticed some stone signs, that each of which had different challenges for various different stats. As Ace managed to go through her challenge in the safest way, Valencia had completed her charisma challenge. Atlas completed their strength challenge through brute force. Arth and DM acknowledgement. Shield Bear managed to go through their constitution challenge, dried themselves off with snow and such, due to different locational challenge fuckery going on with the challenge. Signis engaged in a shootout boat, it seemed, and basically had to get from one end to another for their challenge. And Rock managed to navigate his wisdom-based survival challenge by using his big bird brain and using chemicals and markings to make sure he can follow where he's going, so he doesn't loop his circles. After which we then we gained, for the challenges, we completed a legendary resistance for that I believe. After which then the challenge of unification showed up. We arrived down and it was a strange beach, upon which was a coffin with I think it's alteration magic was the thing? I can't remember what the magic type is. And then it's either abjuration or alteration, I can't remember what exactly it is. Then there were two ogres that showed up. We fought, and after nearly beating one, some weird figure showed up through the fog, wielding a giant sword and a giant shield, and started almost murdering everybody. A lot of people. Oh, and we managed to kill the two ogres, and now we are fighting the Nightfucker dude. Who we don't know the name of. Out of character, some of us might, but in character, we have no idea who this guy is. He just kind of showed up and is trying to murder us, so we are going to try and murder him in revenge. You fucking night dude. And that's where we left off. Shield Bear got slapped in the face, taking a blow for a rock, and AR took a lot of falling damage. But we are going to try and win.
Okay. Unless anybody else has any more things to corroborate to the recap, then I think that's about as accurate. Oh, go ahead.
He's just a hard counter to almost all of us.
Yeah, the freaking dude who is resistant to force, 90% of Ace's kit, who can fly and hover, essentially immune to friggin' Shield Bear and Atlas's shenaniganry. And also can fly, which bring both melee peoples.
Yeah, Atlas got fucking left in the air and then just fell to the fucking ground, then ground pounded. So that shit was not fun.
Oh yeah, they almost stabbed Atlas to death with a net 20, not net 20, with a falling damage hit, and then Signis stopped them with accelerate and managed to spare them a few damage, which is why they're still up.
Ships are so to fun.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's lore accurate.
Okay. Well, with that recap out of the way, we pick up right where we left off originally, which is where we'll see how this fight continues as I switch to the theme. Let me try again to reconnect the actual music here. Oh, here we go. Hold on, let me switch back. Switch y'all back to the map with the pursuer. Here we go.
Also, Roll20 is still playing the Dark.
Yes, I know. Just give me 1 second.
Okay.
I mean, it's playing the combat music for me.
It is also playing combat music for me.
Well, that's Fred Boat.
There we go.
Oh, that's Red Road. Okay.
Yeah. Now, we pick up right where we left off at the top of the initiative. Shieldbearer, you have just seen the pursuer, now that you know that that's his name, or title, you've just seen the pursuer crash down on AR, giving 2 nasty sword swings as they are in the ground. What do you do during your turn?
Well, first, thank you to the great artist for making both of my tokens.
Yeah.
Art for Bob. Need to make self-plug.
Thank you.
And thank you, Jay, for helping me with the wording.
No problem, happy to help.
You all see, you all hear Shieldbear letting out a blood-curdling growl. As for those who speak Sylvan or Beast Folk, you will hear, "No! No! We need to survive! We need to survive! You made us do this! You made us change!" As you all see, he begins to shake, twitch. His fur becomes lighter. His body begins to grow larger and more muscular. Teeth and claws extend further. As you see drool dripping from his mouth, dark veins pulse across his body. His once yellow eyes turn into crimson red. As you see him looking with furious and deadly eyes at the pursuer.
Yeah.
Good shit.
Shifting. I will just do this description once. From now on, just wait. You want to think of it? This happens. So I get 14 temporary hit points. Let's go. Max.
Yeah, you get max too.
And 1 AC. Shield Bear will move to here. Well, wait, let me look at one ability real quick. Question. Fortitude, the last part, it says if I succeed on shoving a target creature that is medium or smaller, I can push it 10 feet away from me. Does that need to be in a linear line, or can it be just to the right or left of Shilbear?
Like ordinarily it's supposed to be in a line away from you. But I guess we could say you can push him to the side.
Right. Yeah, because I think a big shield bashing someone to the side is possible as well. That's why I want to ask. In that case, he's going to move.
Signis is actually.
Right.
Signis is actually just gonna say, push him towards me.
No. You should have done better.
Damn.
As Shilbear rushes behind the pursuer and makes a attack. Flanking.
Okay.
Tower shield. As when I do that,
Yeah, that'll hit.
he also needs to make a strength saving throw.
Okay.
Taking 7 bludgeoning damage. 8 plus strength 12, which is 14.
Right. The pursuer will make a strength saving throw.
Which succeeds, so that doesn't work. I will ready both my reactants.
Okay. The pursuer. Is that the end of your turn?
Yes.
In that case, we move to the next turn, which would be Signis, but at the end of Shieldbearer's turn. The pursuer. The pursuer will. And let me just make sure I'm reading these abilities correctly. Okay. You see, as upon noticing that it is flanked, the pursuer kinda adopts this stance where it kinda puts its sword to the side and its shield forward. And you see, as it begins to look around, its red eye kinda darting, towards another location. What's it called? He will look over at Valencia. What's it called? And kinda points to you and will say, as it'll use 2 of its legendary actions to activate its ability, Charging Lunge.
Ah, I see. You finally noticed me.
You bet. No, attacks.
So it'll move forward 30 feet, waterproof up attacks, and make an attack at Valencia, repositioning itself as it hovers above the ground.
Barely.
So, Pursuer Sword.
Oh fuck.
I have an AC of 19. I'm not sure if that
That
hits or not.
just hits.
Okay.
I keep forgetting to switch to the other tab. 11 points of slashing damage.
That's fucking meaty, oh god.
Valencia.
+5.
Yeah, oh yeah, +5
Yeah.
because of the attack. So 16 points of slashing damage.
16.
Oh
Yep.
god.
The pursuer kind of dashes forward. You instinctively kind of like reel the reins on your horse back to make sure that it doesn't actually target your horse. To your surprise, it seems to instead, well, go directly for you. Kind of catches you over in the arm. The pursuer is then going to stay right there because of the legendary action. So Signis, go ahead.
Signis is going to run up 30 feet. And you see as he runs up, he like slips this card out of his sleeve. Another card, but this time it's a Joker. As he like quickly scribes something onto it, and I'm genuinely asking this because it does not actually specify how I can do this. It just specifies that I need to deliver it. Can I just throw the calling card at him? I'm sorry. Wait,
You
no, that's the
would
wrong
need
one.
to make it an attack roll.
With the cards?
Yes. It'll hit,
Good shit.
and then he has to make a wisdom save. Is that correct?
No. If he reads it, he just gets it. He just becomes warned.
Was warn a creature. Could you? It's a wall of text. Could you summarize to me what does warning a creature? What bonuses does it give you?
It just makes it so that my sneak attacks I can use sneak attacks if I don't even if I don't have advantage, and it allows me to use the actual effect of the calling card. Which, fun fact, I just use a bonus action, and it has wisdom. It has advantage on checks to it has advantage on checks to detect me, but I also can use my bonus action to frighten the creature for 1 minute, and there's no save.
Okay.
But it's immune to the frightened condition, in which case it just doesn't do anything.
Yeah. That I'm just delivering the card right now.
Okay. In that case, well, the card is delivered, and you'll be able to trigger sneak attack on him regardless.
And I am going to take a risk here. Bonus action, I am going to see if I can use the feature to frighten it, and I pray to God that this thing is actually fucking not immune.
I don't
Okay.
know. He don't seem phased.
So does he have to make a wisdom save, or is just auto frighten?
No, there is no save.
Okay. In that case, to your surprise, you do see as the pursuer's resolve is shaken for a moment there, as it does not appear to be immune to the frightened condition.
What? I assumed he would.
You just see as Signis fucking taps the ground with his cane, and he says, "Your appointment with the gentleman has begun. So." And you just see as his eyes glow from behind, brighter from behind the mask.
You also see his eyes kind of glow as kind of, almost like not really shaking, but trying to focus itself on you. Again, kind of just what's it called? So is that your action?
That is my action and my bonus action.
So,
The guy's got disadvantage on all attacks.
that's your
Sorcerer's
turn,
Shield.
right?
Yep. It can use its action to end the. It can use the action to end, and it can use its action to end this effect. Or it can try and go through the whole minute. That's it. That is literally all it can do.
Okay. What's it called? In that case, then we move on to the next turn. But at the end of your turn, Signis. Go ahead.
No, you go first. After that, I will go with my reaction.
At the end of your turn, Signis, he already has disadvantage on this, so he doesn't even care. because this is a range attack roll, is going to point at you as the sword begins to glow, a blue glow, and he will shoot a dark bolt at you. Disadvantage, it's a 15 hit.
So 15.
Oh fuck. My AC's 15. Fuck.
Okay,
Damn,
so
just me.
15 does hit.
I can't do shit because I don't
14
have my
necrotic.
bonus action shield power. I used it to shift.
14 necrotic. Ouch. Just how does this thing work?
Basically, he aims the sword forward and begins to glow with like a blue tinge to it, and shoots like a blast of energy, basically like this sort of like bluish, darkish like energy fires from the sword and hits you square in the chest.
Could it just hit him? It could it just like it hit him like really fucking hard in the shoulder.
Sure. Also, shout outs to you, Paulie Sensei, in the chat for wanting to put my players through even more suffering. You're a real one. Now,
That's what we want. That's what I want.
so your reaction goes off now, Shieldbearer. What do you do?
I gonna to move right there. Wait, let me measure this out real quick.
What the fuck do you mean, Spice? This is up. Our frontliners are nearly dead.
Yeah, right there.
It's a hard encounter.
I'm
Alright,
just
so
using my
right there.
reaction to move 20 feet. That's it.
Alright. Ace, your turn is up. What are you doing?
Okay. Oh boy. So, how hurt is this big guy looking?
How hurt is he looking? He's only been touched like twice. It was
Oh yeah.
I mean, I guess in relative terms, you do see, because he was splashed with poison by Dr. Rock, burned by AR's Hellish Rebuke, and
Smacked by me.
and smacked by
for 7
Shieldbearer.
bludgeoning.
So he is looking like you see like noticing damages in the armor, noticeable dents and the like. Not enough that I would say he's like heaving in pain or anything like that, but like, there are traces of damage.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. You have all the healing items. I think we need to heal up first.
Yeah, because I was just making sure, just in case. I was like, yeah, they're a bonus action too. So yeah, Ace kind of looking around like, oh crap, what can we do? What do we do? Back to the water. Everybody else is hurting.
Oh boy.
Screw it. Let's see what these rocks can do. So you see Ace just vault over this little barricade she made for herself. Go 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, kind of sliding over by AR. Okay. Let's see what these little rocks can do. Let's see. Gotta crush them or something like that. Hang in there, Tin Man. As Ace is gonna use one of the uncommon healing crystals.
One of the uncommon life stones, okay. Or life gems, my bad. So you crush one in your hand and the dust begins to fall over AR. AR, you see as when the dust begins to like hit your armor, it actually seems to seep further through your armor basically. And you feel your wounds begin to heal, in your own body.
Healing protocol successfully initiated. Much appreciation. Rejoining the battle.
And I'll give you some cover real quick as her action, Ace is gonna fire twice with friggin' Lady Luck, even though she knows Bands is resistant to force damage. But this is their only extra attack.
So 14 misses.
27.
27 hits.
Right. Takes freaking 3 force damage because Bands is a bum.
Takes 3 points of force damage. The pursuer is still looking pretty alright. Well, no, alright, not really actually, but you know, damage is damage. You're starting to see that he starts wavering a little bit.
Alright. That's end of Ace's turn.
Okay. Anything else happened after that, or is it my turn now?
It is your turn. He
that was
doesn't
3
have
legendaries.
yeah, he doesn't have more legendary actions. So AR is your turn.
Alright, AR will stand up from prone. And, let me see. They can't... So they will move 15 feet and use their final mobility booster for the day to move up a little bit more, 5 feet.
Okay.
And I'm going to, once again, attempt to punch grab them. So, athletics check? Damn, beat a 15.
He probably can. Give me 1 second. Where is the pursuer athletics?
Damn.
Dang.
That's fine. As I'm going to make my next unarmed strike.
Yeah, if you rolled a 60 to fail, then
That's
goddamn.
only a 15. Well, actually, if it's 15, then that's 17.
17. Let me see if that actually hits, because he has a shield and he's wearing heavy armor.
Yeah. Oof.
Probably not. Depending on the armor.
It'll actually just barely miss.
Fuck. All right, 18 AC then. As you know, you kind of sees Atlas kind of like zoom kind of like directly upwards and then like use their rockets to push themselves a little bit forwards as the attempt to grab with the left hand are brushed off and try to punch with the right and is blocked by the shield.
Okay.
That is the end of my turn.
Alright.
Oh, it was just barely misses. Oh, okay, I thought you said just barely hit.
And Jarl can thank Polly Sensei once again. Shoutouts in the chat for suggesting an additional addition to a future encounter.
Yeah, let's kill us.
What's it called? Man to combat them. Valencia, you have advantage on the pursuer. So,
Yep, they made a mistake coming to me. Hopefully.
Yeah, and flanking too.
Damn!
That will miss, sadly, as you take leverage of your higher elevation to stab down with your lance. The pursuer manages to, while he blocks AR's strike with the shield, kind of then uses his greatsword to pause your, to stall your lance in its tracks.
That's all Valencia can do.
Okay, Doc Rock.
I am using my bonus action to make sure my explosives will not blow up the other people near me. Or near the enemy. And I am going to shoot him.
Alright, go ahead. Damn.
Of course not. I rolled a 2.
Yes.
I literally rolled the second lowest possible.
You take, you load up one of the bombs into your launching sphere mechanism and just try to shoot. Basically, the way this works is that while he's blocking both AR and Valencia's attacks, you see as he hovers like a little bit and basically does like a mid-air spin so that the bomb passes underneath his feet and lands behind him.
My fucking god.
Yeah.
This dude's he's just him right now.
Like, this dude knows our every fucking move.
Quite literally, I was wanting to, like, if I didn't have my bonus action missing, I could have done something to give myself advantage. if I hit him with my rapier,
Sure.
I would get an advantage on my next attack roll, but I can't because I have the bonus action, so I don't blow up other people. Because you guys would then have to meet my bomb DC, or else take half of the damage.
Sure.
Mariah, you can also type your text if you don't want to interrupt other people.
Yeah, it's more.
Yeah.
If Circo had advantage on his grapple check, that would have succeeded.
I don't have advantage on my grapple check. What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know. Big metal suit.
Nope.
Yeah, it's because of the double roll, I guess.
So anything else, Dr. Rock?
No, I've used my bonus action. I guess I'll move. Actually, nah. I'm gonna move back one space.
At the start of the pursuer's turn, so at the start of his turn, I will use my reaction. And I will go with rampant charge to bash into him and make a contestant athletics check. He has disadvantage, I have advantage. Let me look the thing which gives me advantage real quick. Where is it? Yes, the second thing. You count as one such light source to push and carry. You also have advantage on strike from athletic check you make against creatures who are medium and smaller.
Okay. In that case, the pursuer will
18.
make an athletics.
15. Nice.
Well, 10 rather. Yeah, because he has disadvantage.
Yeah. So I bash him into the wall.
Okay, so he gets move 5, 10. So into the wall, and he takes how much damage?
Let me roll that. 10 bludgeoning damage. And instead of pushing him prone, I will make his speed 0.
Yeah, because he's a mute pro. Because he's a bomb.
So he takes 10 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yes. And he has no movement for his turn.
Question: if a person has hover speed, and their hover speed becomes 0, do they continue hovering?
Yes, they continue hovering.
Okay.
What's it called? The pursuer, well, is going to look over at you, shield bearer, and oh boy, he will. You see as he once again raises the sword aloft, and it begins to glow in another blue coloration. Looks over at you, and kinda seems to reel the weapon back, and says, "You become cursed." As he will then try to stab you with the sword. I need you to make me a dex. Hold on, let me see what the DC for this, because I'm pretty sure I got it right. Okay, no, it is correct. You need to make me a dexterity saving throw.
19.
Okay. You managed to try to block most of the strike. However, like a bit of the sword actually manages to go through your defenses, and as it's being deflected to the side, it can kind of digs deep into your arm. You still take half.
Wait, hold on. No, he doesn't. Because oh wait.
I do, because I've used both my reactions.
Yeah, I forgot it's reaction based, not just thing.
So 7. So it is instead 7 piercing and 2 necrotic. Does that still
6.
keep you up?
6
okay, yes,
because
correct.
of this one, and that's 8. Yes, that's only 2/3 of my temp HP.
Okay. So you're still up. The pursuer will then no, he's PD0. He can't move at the moment. So
Yeah, that's what I thought.
that is his turn. Shieldbearer, back to you.
I will make a tower shield attack.
Hits with a 22.
He makes to make a DC 14 strength save.
Okay. He's going to make a strength save.
Nope.
His speed
an
becomes
11.
0
He
until the end
will
of my turn.
use another legendary action to succeed.
That's all 3, baby. That's all 3.
There's resistance. My bad. There's resistance.
Yeah,
I
Ace used up the first one. Signis did the second, and now this is
Wait,
the
what do you mean
third.
Signis did the second?
I think I was.
No, Signis doesn't. Signis'
it was
thing didn't
rock.
use a saving throw. That was
either
Rock.
you or Rock.
No,
It was Rock.
no. Did Rock proc the
No,
save?
Poison
Wait, no,
for
no.
concentration.
no, because I think he passed. Let me check roll.
Yeah, no, I think it's only been 2. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't remember a third one.
Yeah, because the only ones I've seen was succeeding you making his weapon backfire and him trying to, and then this one.
But anyway, his speed doesn't become 0 because he succeeded, but Shieldbearer will move back.
Reaction. Shield bash. For the added
Yes.
disrespect.
Never
and
mind.
misses with a nat 1.
Shieldbearer does another rampage charge fully into him.
Okay, yeah, because I went back. He succeeded against my bomb save because all.
Beat a 19 with this advantage. Let's go!
14.
So
Roll me another
his
attack.
speed becomes 0.
Again.
Well, yeah, roll me your damage, my bad. That's another 6.
6 damage. And the speed is 0 until the end of my turn.
Okay.
And then bonus action Shieldbearer to make sure that every ally within 5 feet of me have half cover.
Okay.
And then ready both reactions and turn.
Huzzah for giving the knight half cover. Huzzah.
Alright. In that case, Signis, you are up.
Signis is going to run up. Actually, Signis is going to go here. Actually, no. Yeah, there. Yeah, he's gonna go there. Wait, should I or should I? I'm trying to consider early options here. Yeah, I should at least leave him an avenue. Signis just fucking and runs up. Can I get there? Because there's rock in.
Sure, I'll say you can just like
rocks.
leap over the rocks, yeah.
Signis is going to get over there, and he's just he's just going to make an attack with Cane. Just gonna do that. Well, bam.
18 will just hit.
Okay.
Nice.
Yep. Gonna hit you with the old. Fuck, that is a low ass roll.
Any damage is good damage.
Okay, so hold on.
What do you mean by hold on?
Okay. So you see as a pursuer gets hit by your cane and kind of seems to almost keel over a little bit. And then you see as black smoke begins to appear from his armor. He, even more so than before, similar to the one that showed up when he first appeared. He's going to look over and at you, Signis, and say,
Your face. I remember. I We shall meet again.
Don't
You
you dare to run!
anything else, Signis?
Signis is just going to like look down at him. You've seen it, have you not? The truth, the things I've seen. Now, you know, what I am. You know, the things that, the things that crawl all in the dark. You know what that lies in the abyss, and it stares back at us. Now the question is, knowing that I have faced it, do you think it's not best to flee? Just going to try and use an intimidation to get him away from these fucking hurt people.
You don't what's it called? You need to roll anything. What's it called? It seems again like the cloud of smoke begins to cover him, and it seems that he's going to attempt to escape, seemingly through similar means that he used to teleport in.
And I tried to
Signis
make
is
a
going
reaction.
to. Can Signis at least like make one thing before the turn ends?
Yeah.
Gonna throw a card, cause
Okay.
why the fuck not? Well, actually, no. Attack with a card.
All right, in that case, go ahead and Shilber.
Because
What?
Nick is a fun little thing.
Yeah, and then Shilber, what would have been your reaction?
Shit.
Again, to move back and chill bash into it.
Okay, sure. Go ahead.
We'll spam him.
Beat a 22 at this stage. 14? Nope.
Base of the crit.
So that's 12 damage and his speed becomes 0.
That's alright. What's it called? And at the end of Signis' turn, you see as the pursuer kinda puts his shield in front of him to block any more strikes as a 17 doesn't actually hit. What's it called? And he will activate a special ability.
Pursuer magically teleports to a location of its choice within 10 miles. Using ability source hit points. Man.
Bullshit.
The pursuer you see as begins to get engulfed by a cloud of smoke and seems to sink back into it. The only thing that is visible is the red eye as it then dissipates. Imagine if you use this to teleport behind you.
Yeah,
what's it
He
called?
did that to teleport
Nothing
behind me.
personal, kid.
I would have been mad.
As the pursuer disappear, so too does initiative, as we are out of combat.
Hostiles no longer detected. I believe our trial of unity has been passed. Let us proceed.
Unity? I was the one who bashed the most into him. What were you all doing? Standing around? Want a little lunch with it? Some tea, maybe?
Well,
I am
somebody's got the
Tequila.
temper.
I am the
Signis
healer.
is
Much healing you did, Rock. God damn.
I did not have the
Signis-
opportunity when you are so far away.
Signis is
Nathan.
going to point. Signis is going to point his cane at Shieldbearer and just say, "Hey, kindly do not go and point. Do not make such accusations. And you along with others have been injured greatly in this this encounter, or this is it. Just try and rest up. This is." Clearly, he just looks at like fucking Shieldbearer and Atlas up and down. Clearly, we need to revise our strategy when dealing with enemies because both of you look like hell, so to speak.
They aren't accusations when they're truths.
You have no authority to criticize any of us. You have no rank, no name, no accolades.
And even
as a knight of the Iron Cavalry, I will overlook your transgressions.
And even this peasant has done much better than any of you combined.
Wait, which peasant?
Shield.
I think he's talking about
He's talking about
himself.
himself.
AR has already started walking away.
Yeah, run away. Apparently that's what you're good at.
Or he requires healing.
If you can, now would be a good time. If I ain't too far away.
Rock would just stab Gilbert with a needle. You get a healing potion. Basic healing potions, 2d4 plus 4, yes?
2d4 plus 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hiya.
Max and min.
Thank you. Next time, try doing it in the fight.
There's a bit of challenge when the enemy is unknown, has unknown capabilities, and is trying to shoot at all of us.
We won after all, did we not?
So what did you say?
We won after all, did we not?
I did, yes.
Alongside us.
Fled, Ed. We should at least be thankful for that. I am not going to lie to you. That last statement was a bluff.
Before we depart, I have something that I would like to do. As he looks upon the giant ogre, he's probably not seen one here before, or at least not up close, and will state, I wish to examine this creature.
What, the old Cyclops?
Yes, as Rock would pick up his hat, reach into a bag, and he pulls out his Plague Doctor mask, puts it on his head, and puts his hat back on. Then he reaches behind him into his bag, and pulls out a big bone saw, or a hacksaw. I wish to examine this creature to see if I can discover any weak points for future use.
Do what you want.
Yeah. Rock's basically just gonna pop up on top of the creature and begin sawing open its ribcage.
Yeah.
Well, not the ribcage yet. He's sawing opening the flesh and muscle to examine the bone structure and stuff to see where weak points would be.
Okay.
Yeah. You would all hear when Silver is walking away like, you shut up, I'm free to do whatever I want.
You okay there, big guy?
I'd say
Yes.
leave him for now.
Of course I'm good. I'm Shield Basher. What couldn't be good about me?
Wait, what?
Shield Basher. He,
Robert.
him. Names across the lands. I've been traveling these lands for like a few years now.
Yeah, Ace kind of like tilts her head, like looking a little bit confused, like.
Rock would whisper to Ace and state, "This one believes he has split personalities."
Doc, please use the medically correct term. Dissociative identity disorder.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, dude.
To be fair, this guy's from fucking Luyarna. This is like Victorian England.
Well, it's 19th century, but also I also out of character didn't remember the name.
Oh my god. While you guys are having this oh, go ahead, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
I was gonna ask for my examining, would that be my medicine?
Yes, medicine. Again, we are ruling that you can use intelligence with medicine. While this is happening, AR, you have already long since walked away from this. You would walk up the little spiral staircase that leads you back to like the main road, as it were, of the of this region. You would notice that well, there doesn't seem to be any more things like out in the in the open. Actually, what is your passive perception?
My passive perception is 15.
Okay, yeah, you don't actually see like anything that you hadn't seen already. Like the trees, you hear like wildlife around, like birds finally. You would see Dinah and Tillo, what's it called, flying around, the two twin crows. Not that you know their names, because you didn't ask. What's it called? And you would see off in the distance, to the side, following the main road, as it were, the large, the road that leads into the horizon, where the crack in the ceiling of the, cavernous environment is at. Do you continue moving, or do you wait for the rest of your team?
What's it called? They're going to just kind of keep walking and they stop, turn around, notice that people aren't there, and will kind of walk back. At the top of the staircase, just kind of just yells down.
All of you, stop dallying. We need to keep moving. Lady Knight, Phantom Thief, with me.
This one is conducting research and potentially procuring rations.
Also, I think the little coffin boat down here is our way out of here.
You are sorely mistaken. There was a clear exit when we were going the other way. We simply managed to go the other way. There is a crack that leads to sunlight and wildlife, birdsong.
It would still be a good idea to investigate this area properly, though, would it not?
Investigation is not necessary. We need to return to civilization.
Signis will just look up at Atlas and just say, "I apologize, but we may have some slightly more pressing matters, considering many of us are quite injured. We should probably set up camp once we find a safe location." And I don't think there's
in this cave
nearby.
is a safe location. A safe location would be civilization. Therefore, we should keep moving.
Yeah.
Understood then.
Yeah. So, Vorti, what is the result of medicine?
Rock, real quick. You kind of, pull out your hacksaw, begin to, saw your way into the body of the ogre. They are pretty, girthy, as it were. You identify that they actually possess quite a degree of muscle mass. But they don't seem to possess a lot in the way of intelligence based on your, short interaction with them. And I fucking glitched the Roll20 layout. What's it called? What the hell did he harvest? Give me a second, one moment. What's it called? You will notice that, they have a lot of muscle mass, but not a lot in the way of intelligence, if your interactions with them have been any indication. I'm just going to refresh this little thing. Their bodies are pretty hefty. You imagine they weigh, quite a lot. I can't give you a precise estimate on the, how much these creatures might weigh at the moment, but you feel that them falling on top of somebody could potentially cause a lot of damage as well. What's it called? Not a lot of good depth perception, you imagine, because of the singular eye. But you believe that as far as weak points go, though their physicality is quite impressive, it doesn't seem their body has a lot of motor skills, dexterous motor skills, so to speak. They're clearly made more for strength, not for anything else. What's it called? You don't actually see. Were you looking for anything specific out of opening them up?
He's basically just kind of examining their anatomy, seeing if there's any weak points, for example, where there are gaps between the rib cages, vital organs, etc. And also, when examining the muscle tissue and such, he would be examining the quality of it to see if it's basically something that would be fit for consumption, or if these beasts are not suitable for ration making.
their hide is pretty rough. You imagine if you were to decide to eat this creature, you would need to actually take a bit of time to just kind of like remove the flesh from the hide. Teeth, they are very gnarled and sharp. It could potentially be used for something if that's the route you're going. They, as far as like any weak points, though their hide is indeed kind of like rough, it is not impenetrable. It is good at deflecting blows, not at blocking them. You do notice that what's it called? Much like how it was proven during the previous fight, I guess in mechanical terms, their AC is not super high. So they're a big target. Can take a lot of punishment, but they are pretty easy to hit and not intelligent enough to protect against mental attacks. So do with that information as you will, if that helps you at any point in your journey. As far as edibility goes, probably. You haven't like ever, cooked one of these. You're not sure if they're like sentient for it to be considered taboo. They could be. They didn't speak common or bestial as far as you understand. But that doesn't mean they don't speak any language. What's it called? I don't know. It's strange. It's a strange type of creature that, for all intents and purposes, should require lots of food to maintain itself alive. Due to its size. But, you're not sure how these ones have been subsiding.
Yeah. Rock basically kind of just starts muttering all that to himself as once he's done, he removes his blood-soaked hands and will kind of just clean off his stuff with other tools and stuff he has, making sure everything's nice and clean as best he can. He's like using a little bit of acid to sterilize because he doesn't have hot water. As he will state. Okay, then I have gathered all of that type of kaya. Who here is good at butchering bodies?
Look, I palled around with a couple of giants. I don't think it would be right to eat them.
Why not? They tried to eat you.
Well, that's the thing. You don't just... Giants are people. Don't eat people.
I don't think this thing is people. He says, looking at the weird one-eyed, one-horned rhino thing. I do not think this
Signis's head, like, sort of... Signis's head sort of, like, snaps the moment is, like, butchering bodies, but then he, like, thinks about it. Oh, right, don't have that anymore. And he just goes, well, don't have the tools for it, but I don't think anybody would be quite so open to consuming these, considering he just like pokes its face with his cane. Yeah, it's quite grisly to look at. We should once we conclude our business here.
Too good.
Alright. Give me a quick sec while I check out this little boat here. This little coffin here.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
He says they're taking out the boat. Rock will state, survival is not for the weak of stomach. And if Signis doesn't help, Rock will remove a couple teeth and will basically use his saw and scalpel to remove the best cuts of meat he can find off the dead ogre.
Okay.
Signis looks at Rock and shakes his head and just sort of says, "We have rations, and there's probably better food, considering that it's not yet winter in Drangleic.
Yes, but we do not know how far away from civilizations that we are, so it is best to prepare what we can when we can."
I guess if you're still keen on harvesting ogre meat, Dr. Rock, you're gonna have to make me a survival check. what's it called? And Ace, while that is happening over there, you start to investigate the coffin over here on the shore. As I mentioned before, now because you investigated before, you do notice like those weird sort of like runic engravings in the interior of the coffin. The coffin itself is actually pretty deep. It's probably almost like 4 feet like deep. So you could like theoretically like crouch down in it, and you would it would still cover like most of your body. What's it called? It's probably 4.5, I guess, a little bit more accurate. Not including the lid that is kind of like arched. It's kind of like an arched lid, so it probably adds a grand total of like a full 5 feet, like in height and depth.
What does she get with identify looking over at the runes?
I'll say enough time has passed that you could have ritually casted identify.
Yes, because you can only cast it as a ritual.
You gather Ace that what's it called? The nature of this coffin, sarcophagus, whatever it may be, is to transform whoever is inside of it. To give them a different nature of their being, so to speak. You're not sure if it will turn you into, say, like an animal or something like that. It more so seems like an alteration to your body, but otherwise you will remain humanoid.
Okay. Okay, so that's how you doing it, Vorty. I see what you did there. Oh, well. Yeah, as you see, like, Ace kind of looking over it with what looked like a set of tongs and one of those little lenses that help magnify stuff, because the way friggin' Personnag can read does with identify, she can use friggin' tools instead of the normal components.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you still look over it and say, well, not a boat, more alteration magic. Changes a person up. Will still be humanoid, I guess.
Can Signis actually like inspect like the runes just to like keep track of them or something later?
Sure. I guess you could also roll me like an Arcana to like commit them to memory.
Yep. You gonna?
Would Ace get? Could Ace give Signis advantage? Because I'd feel like she'd kind of like start scribbling them down in her little journal.
Sure. We'll say, like in between you two can share notes and you can have advantage, Signis.
That's a 17.
Nice.
It did not show up on my screen.
I think you rolled the GM.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
now
I rolled the public.
Yeah, it just fucking took a while for it to load.
Yeah, roll 20.
With a 17, you can kind of memorize them based on what Ace told you. It's kind of like akin to how, like a shape, yeah, like some form of magic that could allow you to change shape to a certain extent, like I mentioned before. You believe that the way, I guess, between Signis and you, Ace, you're kind of able to figure out how it works, especially because you can identify. Yeah, you would need to kind of lay down on it, and the magic will be infused into your body, and once you get up, the nature of your being would change.
After examining that, he would look at Ace and just say, "The others have
probably gone quite far by this point. I think we would wrap up what we were doing here and make our way to them as soon as possible.
Yeah. Let's hope Tin Man and Lady Lizard Lips are having better luck than us, figuring out where to sit down.
Also, with
What's
a
it
14
called?
survival rock, you do gather some pieces of ogre flesh. Add them to your inventory. But yeah, go ahead, AR.
I was gonna say, like, as Valencia just kind of like, walks up to them, like, they kind of see AR just like staring up at like the big kind of like cut, like the cave opening, as they seem to be kind of like talking to themselves a little quietly.
Undisciplined, insubordinate, inefficient, completely unorganized. One even dares to disrespect their own brother in arms. These flaws need to be purged as soon as possible if we are to continue as a unit. Article 41 of Glamoth Military Regulations. Team cohesion is dependent on the ability to follow orders like a well-oiled machine. Ensure that the gears of said machine are never ill-maintained. I am half the mind to court-martial all but the Lady Knight and the Phantom Thief.
Signis, just like probably crests like the hill with the rest of them at this point, just sort of
God, like as Valencia does actually add like AR to 296, 158. Any clue on where we should venture from here? AR does point out, like the kind of like opening of the cave.
Sunlight, birdsong. Lady Knight, do you identify the birdsong coming from that gash?
Does it sound like birds?
Roll me nature. And
Okay.
while that's happening, Signis, you were gonna ask something?
Signis is just gonna say to like Atlas, if you can find a wall that connects to that gash, I might be able to scout ahead. And is there a wall that connects to the gash?
Only the cave wall. Well, actually, no. You don't see a cave wall from your current position. At the very least, not one that is easily accessible to you. What's it called? 14 nature. You believe you identify it. It sounds like a coastal bird.
Rock would return and would state, "This one's research was quite fruitful. This one knows quite a bit about these beasts."
Excellent. As to answer your question, those do appear to be coastal birds. Question, how do we get up there? I do not know the answer.
If you are able to identify the birds to begin with, that means that we have returned to your home plane of Drangleic. Therefore, the gash in the cave is our way out.
This one can fly and see where the path leads.
Just to reiterate my previous description of the path that you're currently at, from the place where all the trials of like entryways converge, is a long, road to the horizon, and at that horizon is where the visible gash in the cave wall is. Like I said, it's a massive cavern area in which you're at, and the gash is equally massive. You believe?
Never mind. Rock, if we knew where the path was going, Rock wouldn't have said that.
Yeah, you believe the pathway leads you in the direction of the gash.
We keep moving. Any objections?
This one has
none that
none?
I could.
Also,
None. Let's get going then.
all right.
Better. Keep moving then.
Also, shield bearer. Would you say or do anything as your team is also moving?
No, he will just look down in shame while following.
Damn.
I did try to do my best
Yeah,
follow along
Ace-
in the text RP. What's it called? shield basher turned back into shield bearer, and he apologized for his previous outburst.
Yeah.
It seems. What's it called? Anything you want to add on to that little bit of RP, or?
I mean, depending on how people react to it, if people ignore his apology, we'll just keep going.
Ace would kind of go up to shield bearer and act like, and kind of like, well, looking all surprised and like, hey, you pretty cool. Like, well, I didn't know you. I didn't know you had it in you. You a big guy. Awesome. You handle yourself pretty well in scrap.
Yes,
You doing all right?
we can handle ourselves, Miss Ace. And Ace, he will grow on you, just like he grew on me. Quite literally.
Signis won't like address it like directly, but he would like sort of nod like yes, he accepts the apology, just like as more so as like a just like a visual acknowledgement, not really any sort of verbal thing said. And speaking of, the fucker's still wearing a mask.
To answer your question, Marine, if you all get anything from the trial, besides the satisfaction of a job well done, what's it called? You would also get, give me 1 secondo, as I read my notes. Right, having passed the trial of unity, all of you guys, the next time you take a long rest, you will start with 10 temporary hit points.
Nice.
Hey, that's nice.
And we did all the trials, correct?
Yes, all 7 of them.
Yeah, we did all the trials.
So you got your free legendary one-time use legendary assistance and your temporary hit points next long rest you take.
Yes. Alright, I guess we're moving forward.
The path forward is long, but it doesn't feel like it should have been. At times it seems like seconds stretch into minutes, which stretch into hours. But sometimes it feels as if you're moving at a pretty fast pace, as particular, I guess, reference points that you find along the way seem to be left further behind than you anticipated after taking a couple of steps. You eventually find yourselves at the end of the forested road, and now in front of you, a stone opening in the cave wall that leads down a large tunnel, the sunlight peeking from the other side. The tunnel doesn't seem that long, and yet if you were to move into it and you walk through it, it still feels almost like the sunlight's getting further and further away at times. It is big enough that Valencia's horse is able to fit pretty easily. It feels, the longer you go on, you don't actually start feeling all that tired, actually. It seems like your body's kind of telling yourself to keep going, to keep pushing forward. Eventually, however, at some point during your travel, the light becomes far more bright, to the point where you feel it in your bones, you feel it in yourselves that you are reaching the end of this tunnel path. And then it happens. The sound of waves, a warm breeze, a gentle light that covers you, all of you, in its warmth. You find yourselves traveling down into the open of a shore. A large sun shining in the distance in the sky. you see that, well, you see a pathway in this kind of like cliffside that you're currently walking out of. A monument in the distant hill that borders with the shoreline, or well, cliffside shore, as you say. Civilization, buildings in the distance are seen. An archway that seems to be the gates of some town, perhaps. Before I show you exactly what you are seeing, I will show you a map of the world, the one that we're going to be using for the remaining of this campaign.
Shit, yeah, I remember this.
Is a surface map of Drangleic, created by Snoo Apples 7072 on Reddit. Shout out to you, even if you didn't answer my comment in the post. What's it called? No shade though. I fucks with this map a lot. I don't think anybody has ever done something like this for Dark Souls 2. So shout outs to you, Snoo Apples. What's it called? A lot of it is going to be in darkness because you haven't explored most of the region. But here's the important bit that you should know. Is that the location that you were currently at, now that you actually asked the name, was called Things Betwixt. A limbo between worlds, a space where all things converge. A lands between, many lands, as Milibet said. You can see on the map that I've uncovered a segment of it. What's it called? A little bit towards the bottom of the area. Can people see it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I forgot to set the music to auto loop. Give me a second.
And when we get to the outside, Gilbert had some time to look around. He's like, Lieutenant Colonel AR296158.
What is it?
You want to go to the nearest civilization, correct?
The skies above are blue and have not been eclipsed by the carapace of black. It is imperative that we get to the closest monument of authority there is. But in order to rest at a proper, safe, secure location, we must reconvene at the nearest form of civilization.
That's that way. And how long would it take for us to get to the nearest civilization? Like,
doesn't actually look that far away. It could be like a bit of an extra distance, a forced march, if you will, if you're willing to push the extra hour. Again, it looks so far. It's one of those so far but so close, type of things. You guys have been up and walking around for quite a while now. You've seen a lot of action in this past couple of hours, so your bones are starting to feel it now.
Yeah.
Signis is going to take the lay of the land, but is that a river I see?
That would have been the river that was passing through Things Betwixt, yes.
Let's see.
You were next to it at some point.
We're
Yeah, this is where we came from, this is where we're going.
Signis is the river and just like sort of smiles and just says, "Well, if that's the river I think it is, we may actually be not too far south of where I was. This may be the same river I jumped into." He just chuckles.
This one would recommend that, based on the amount of time that it has been, on the amount of time we have been active for, that we rest before entering this town to ensure that our bodies remain healthy and in good condition.
Our bones are not close yet to breaking. We keep moving.
Signis is going to like turn to Aara and just like look at them and just say, I understand that you have reason to rush, but as of the moment, most of the group are exhausted, and I don't think you're too far behind either. You took quite a lot of damage during that encounter. It may be wise to consider the rest in or march. After all, an army does not march with a broken leg.
Okay. I'm going to say roll persuasion. I'll say with advantage.
To answer your question, Marine, on the chat, you do believe Atlas's estimation is correct. Like probably another hour or 2 hours of travel before you reach the next civilization, but you are pushing a forced march.
Yeah.
And I have guidance, so that's an
Yeah,
additional.
that's fucking true. Yeah. But 17 is definitely enough. Though,
Damn.
so Atlas will kind of like look down at you and then kind of like look, or like their head starts to like scan from left to right at like everyone around and says,
This body has not been impaled, therefore it is fine. However, I acknowledge that my current unit is not exactly fit for prolonged activity. Very well. We shall rest.
I'm fine with just keeping moving.
Out of character, did Atlas say this one's body has not been impaled, even though they got stabbed by the freaking great sword earlier?
yeah, but they didn't get run through.
That's thanks to Signis.
Actually,
Still stabbed
because
through
of
you, it just didn't stab through a vital area.
because of this, how's rolling the horse looking?
Actually pretty fresh, all things considered. Startled still from the previous encounter. But you can tell that he was, for however long the horse was being tended to by Milibet and the Firekeepers, it seems that they have treated him well. Brushed, clean, well fed. Still looks pretty fresh.
If the commoners wish to rest, then so be it.
Signis points. Wait, can we actually see the ruins from where we are?
Yes, like I said, there's like this sort of like archway, almost like a town's walls, perhaps. They look weathered though. Again, the map will show them as ruins, but there's not a lot I can do about that unless I Photoshop it. But they look pretty weathered, and they do look like pretty old, like in disrepair. Not precisely ruined per se, but it clearly hasn't seen like a lot of a touch-up, I guess, for quite a number of years, perhaps.
Signis just like sort of nods and says, it may not be a place of great authority, but it may be wise for us to camp there. There are all manner of beasts around at times. He just like, is there like forest nearby?
You are in a cliffside shore.
Plains?
You're in a cliffside shore. It's not. There are trees around, like in the nearby environment. The way the sun is kind of like angled at the moment, it kind of gives like the illusion that the area is kind of like this sort of like brown, almost like bronze colored like grass, but it is actually green. It's just a trick of the light in the moment. What's it called? But yes, there is foliage if that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Ace would kind of go in her pocket, pull out the pocket watch. Are we considered on the material plane now?
Yes.
Okay, her watch works now. What time is it?
It is currently around 4 in the afternoon.
Yeah, that's some funny thing of the orb of time. It only works on the material plane.
Funnily enough, Signis looks at his. It probably reads like fucking like probably reads like 9.
Yeah, no,
Yes,
yours
it's
yours
mechanical.
needs to be recalibrated. Recalibrated.
Calibrated.
Yeah.
Signis just like looks over at Ace and just says, "Do you mind helping me? It seems your device might be a little bit more accurate than mine."
Yeah, it's a fancy little trinket I picked up.
So
Here's the question I have.
Mhm.
Rockwood looking at the group. How dirty is everyone after everything? All of us have apparently fell into the water. Then we've been in multiple fights and everything. It's like, how dirty is everybody?
I mean,
This somehow
considering
looks still
Ace,
pristine.
considering Ace kind of slid in the sand, shooting, she's a little bit, like, her clothes are a little bit dusty. Other than that, she's good.
while you guys are wondering that, I do want an answer here. Are you guys pushing like the last bit of hour of travel for a forced march, or are you taking a rest like outside of town?
I don't mind
taking a
resting.
rest.
Yeah, if we're taking a rest.
Yeah.
Is it going to be a short rest?
No.
Short rest or long rest? I feel like long rest, really.
If we're
Yeah.
gonna rest, we need to take the long rest. If we're gonna push, then we're gonna take the long rest where we are. Then the village.
Again,
Yeah.
I do want to know, because again, not sure how your characters would react to the village is within line of sight, is within like visible travel distance.
Oh, then why the
Um,
fuck are we? Then why the fuck Signis is like fucking do that? We would fucking go.
I mean, it's a forced march you need to take. So
Like, what do you mean by line of sight? Like, is it like like on
you
the horizon,
see
or is it?
buildings in the distance, in kind of like this kind of like shore side like town perhaps. You that can't tell many details because again you're an hour away of walking time. You can't tell finer details, but you believe you see buildings in the distance.
Yeah,
So it's
and
like an
remember,
hour away.
an hour away at forced march. To clarify, forced march means basically speed walking the entire way through, which might not be possible for
What I mean by forced march is that while it is within relative like travel distance, you would need to all make like a con save to avoid exhaustion to get there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then we're just gonna take a long rest immediately anyway, though.
What if fight though?
Yeah,
Oh,
we don't
that
know
is a
like,
fair
though.
point.
Like,
Yeah, what if
true.
you get the highwaymen
Okay.
on the road? Saying stand
Yeah,
and deliver,
true.
give us your shiz.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
AR is extremely stubborn and refuses to admit that they can feel tired. Out of character, no, we should probably take a long rest. Like,
Yeah,
we
no.
should.
Yeah.
In character shield
Okay.
bearers, let's push it.
And the reason I was asking
So
is because
just
good.
I was gonna say just type in
Long rest
in
it
the
is.
chat. Yeah, just type in the chat who's for long rest, who's for short rest, or who's for just moving. Long rest. I have 2. Long rest I have 3. Long rest 4. 1 moving and another long rest. Okay. In that case, long rest it is. As you thankfully you have the tunnel that you just came out of as a way to provide a degree of shelter. Here. So setting up tents may not entirely be necessary. But setting up a campfire, perhaps. Whoever wants to do that, can go ahead.
Actually, well, you know what's funny? Ace has produced flames. She could just make the fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lordy, I have a
Yes?
question. If not, Ruffle asked for it. Are there any like aromatic plants like lavender or such around where we're
You
camping?
can make me a survival check, see if you can find any. 19? Let me check what type of aromatic shoreside plants could exist.
Because the reason is why I asked if people look dirty. Rock recently just got some fresh meat from the ogre and stuff. He's basically gonna trim off some of the fat and make soap. Because he can make soap with Alchemist.
Let me see. I don't remember the names of these particular flowers, but I do believe there's this type of kind of like yellow petaled like flower that grows in like rocky terrain nearby shores, unless I'm mistaken about that.
Geodes.
Geodes?
Yeah, that's what.
Is that the one?
Yeah, that's the name of them.
Okay, well then
Geodes, juniper,
you can find some
lavender.
Yeah, I'll say you find some geodes.
Yeah.
What's it called around? The
Cygnus,
go ahead, Signis.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Just
I'll
do
finish
afterwards.
what you were saying.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like Cygnus, it's like while Rock is like looking for those, might actually try and see if he can find like small game, like a few like rabbits or something. Just fucking and go kill a few, bring them back.
Okay. Sure. Roll me. I guess would also be. Well, if you're looking rather than scavenging, I guess, or scouring. I guess it would be more like perception. Yeah, perception.
You're
Okay,
hunting, right?
that is dog shit.
Go ahead, Maureen.
Yeah, I wanted to ask if Cygnus would mention to the party that they are going hunting. Silver would suggest...
I think he would. I think he would say a like I think I might see if I can get us some fresh meat. Eat a good meal would do us some good.
Yeah.
This one has already procured some, he says as he holds up the bag of the ogre meat.
I would no.
Hold on, Shilbear was saying something. Go ahead, Maureen.
I could go with you. I'm good at hunting.
Well then, certainly join me. I won't say no to a helping hand.
Yeah, but whilst they're off hunting, Rock will sit down, reach into the bag of ogre meat and trim off bits of fats and stuff. And then he would set up what's probably to a few people here looking weird as he sets up his alchemist supplies as he's beginning to make something. Does anybody question Rock on what he's doing?
Valencia's gonna let him cook.
Did Cygnus have
he's not
advantage
mentioned-
from
Rock's not,
himself?
yeah, because like Rock's not mentioned he's making soap, he's just doing
No. Oh, I accidentally rolled with advantage, so that was just shit.
Right. Do we get any bonus from the Wanderer?
I would have given advantage on this. What's it called? But the roll has already been made.
I mean, the thing I'm saying, like, help action from Silver is advantage. Would we get an extra bonus because of Wanderer as well, or not? That was.
I mean, I'll say because you have the Wanderer background feature. I'll say it's not a full failure, I guess, as it were. You just don't find as much for everybody, basically. Yeah. You find, I guess, enough small game worth for like 2 people. You know, so not a big haul this time around.
Cygnus like sort of makes like a face, just so it's better than nothing. I can add pieces of jerky to a stew alongside this to give it a little bit more, or I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, you wouldn't even be able to see his face. He's still wearing the fucking mask.
Vorty, should I roll alchemist supplies to make soap?
I'm not entirely familiar with the soap creation process, but I guess that would make sense. Like, I feel like it's one of those things that you kind of need a more controlled environment to make, unless I'm mistaken. What's it called?
Yeah, I don't know how easy it is to make soap just like on the road. Like you would need, because soap is like animal fat. At the very least, like in
animal fat scented with aromatic oils or herbs.
Okay. I say you can get started on making like a bar of soap, like on the road.
Yeah, 'cause, like, I looked at how long it takes. It takes like 20. It basically takes like a day for the soapification process to happen. But then it takes like. But then it's like it takes more days for it to harden. But it's like after a day or two, it's ready to be used as soap.
Uh,
I don't know how
well,
D&D timing works.
I'm gonna
especially
say you
without
can
this
get
class.
started on like the process of making soap, but you would need a more controlled environment to actually finish doing it, as it were.
I mean,
What's it called?
Huh? I'm just gonna see, like, what do you need to make soap? Like, I've people who make tutorial recipes on how to do it with, like, bacon fat and stuff, so it's like, I don't know how controlled it needs to be.
I mean, well, it's less about like control environment, more so actually using, finishing the process. I guess it's gonna take a while more than just a night. I guess let me put it that way to just make it.
And
simple.
also, it's not like regular bacon; it's giant bacon, I guess. So it's probably different cook time.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So these are the things. So it's oil/fats, lye, and water with optional fragrances. And to make it, you mix the lye with the oil/fats. It reacts with it, forming the soap, which is soapification. And if you insulate it, keeping it warm, it speeds up the process. And then once it's set, you cut into bars and let it cure for several weeks to harden.
Yeah.
But you don't need to have it harden to make it like that.
I mean, yeah. Well, like I said, I guess we can just, to make it simple, to not like get caught up in all of this for a while. We'll just say you can start a process here, but you can't end it in like a single. You can't finish it like in a single night.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll just roll. This is intelligence, yeah.
Do you guys roll me alchemical supplies with intelligence? Does
Jesus.
anybody do?
Oh my god!
It might take longer than just two nights to do this.
Well, he's not used to working with ogre fat, and there's
And
not a lot of it.
I'm gonna say you do lose. I didn't specify the number of portions of like ogre chunks that you managed to cut out. We're gonna say like 4. In the process of trying to make this soap, I'll say you lose. Yeah, you lose 2 chunks of ogre fat in order to, when making this. Doesn't quite seem to be right. You have to start over.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Oh.
Well, here's where I ask you all. Do you guys do anything specific during this night that you have set up camp? Or does anybody want to do anything specific?
So Shieldbearer already called dibs on the first watch.
Yeah.
How long are you going to be watching?
2 hours.
2 hours, okay. AR is going to say that after, AR is going to tell everyone, what's it called?
This Iron Cavalry unit does not need more than 4 hours of sleep. 2 people take watch, and I can stay awake for the rest of it.
Can Signis actually cook a meal for the group?
Sure.
Using the rabbits and some of his own rations.
To AR's thing, Valencia would just reply like, "Splendid. Who volunteers for second watch?"
I don't mind if necessary.
I think AR meant that 2 people watch at the same time.
No. They said like one person watch for 2 hours, the other person watch for 2 hours,
got
and then the AR takes the rest.
Got it.
Yeah, they
You
only
would
need...
take the second watch then, Signis.
All is good.
When you are making dinner for everyone, Super, I would say you don't have to make for me.
Why not?
I still have. As you see him pick out the dirt-covered rations we took back from the cave again, he said, "This is good enough for me."
Signis looks up and just says, "This nonsense. Have a warm meal." He's gonna like fucking ladle soup into a bowl, hand it over to Shieldbearer.
Shieldbearer takes it, brings it to Valencia. your meal.
Thank you.
And then sits down.
Speaking of, can I use cook's utensils to see if I did good?
Sure. I'm gonna. I guess if you're just making like a completely utilitarian meal, like without anything fancy to it, I let you use either your dexterity, intelligence, or wisdom to make it.
Okay. Wow.
Serviceable.
That is sad.
It is serviceable at the very least. So you all, you get passed around. What specifically meal were you doing, Signis? Like stew? Is that?
Signis is just making it. Yeah, Signis is making stew because
Okay.
fucking hell. It's an easy meal. It doesn't take much effort, and it generally just like it's an easy meal. It doesn't take much effort, and it's warm and hearty. So in short, it's just good for this kind of shit. Everybody's tired. This is comfort food.
If you want to make enough for everybody outside of Shilbear, that will cost 2 or 3 rations. And Shilbear will not accept food, so you better not throw it in.
So
you get 2 rabbits, which leaves 1, 2...
2 rabbits for 2 people, so 3 other people, and then Shilbear eating his sent rashes.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's 6 of us. Wait, yeah, there's 6 of us. Yeah.
I'll say, with what Signis has caught with this, there's enough food for 2 people to not need to use their rations for the day. Everybody else,
Yes.
However, does need to use their at least 1 ration
Yeah,
for the day.
Signis chose to use his rations instead of letting people use theirs.
Mm-hmm.
Shilbear rejected, so he just needs to take down 3 rations, and then everyone is feeded.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, before Rock goes to bed, or sleep or everything, he basically asks in the morning, because in the morning it takes me 10 minutes. You guys, basically, because he mentions he's also skilled in the art of alchemy and his poisons, would you guys like him to make anything for us to use? And he'll basically say what he can make. I'm just going to list the things, because it's easier than going through like all the lists and saying everything. Reagent.
What's it called? You will. Alright, that's a lot. Give me a second.
It's up to the 3rd. I just kind of copied the list. So I could make basic poisons, anti-venoms.
Yeah, you can make some poisons, personal climbing, growth, healing, water breathing, universal solvent, cure all. Oh no, never mind. From Dino.
Yeah, and then from poisoner I can make basic poison, antitoxin, potion poison, oil agate, serpent venom, or truth serum.
1 second, Rab. What were you saying, Marine?
Yes, if I have a potion of growth, would that mean that I can also have advantage on large creatures because I become large?
How is the thing worded?
We reworded it. That's why I'm asking. Like, normally it would give you advantage one size larger than you. We reworded it to the same size.
Yeah,
but I don't know
I
if
guess
potion
it
of
would.
growth
If we're keeping it with that wording, then it would mean that you would also have mentioned large creatures.
Alright.
So,
yeah.
Does anybody say anything specific before turning in?
Yeah, potion of growth and health potions.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say Rock also would mention that he can use these for his bombs because they can also make my bombs better. So it's 50-50. Also, he would mention the AR to use the potion he gave them because it expires after 24 hours.
What's it called? They will kind of like say that they'll take it on their watch.
So he's making sure to mention that because, like, oh yeah, my thing expires after a bit.
All right. Ace, you sound like you wanted to say something.
Yeah, like Ace kind of like taking off her duster, setting her hat to the side a little bit, kind of neatly. Actually, yeah, because we at the campfire. Friggin' Ace Cole ask if anybody got campfire stories since we out here.
Is there a tree nearby?
I'll say there is.
Signis is fucking being like ick on one of the branches. It is like slinging off the side.
What's it called? Two Aces, like as Ace like asks, like, y'all's got any campfire songs?
Campfire songs and campfire stories.
Yeah. What's it called? Atlas will kind of like, they're still like sitting completely still like a fucking statue against like the entrance of the cave, and just goes,
Article 105 of Glamoth's military regulations. Only official regimental hymns and chants approved by Her Majesty's Ministry of Propaganda may be sung. Unauthorized morale-boosting activities are punishable offenses.
How many little rules you got there?
869.
Well, how about you give us one of your approved songs then? I'm sure you have a couple, don't you?
Just the radio starts playing.
What's it called? They kind of like stare out at like, like just their head starts like turning from like left to right slowly, and will say,
This one's speakers have been damaged in their crash. They are working on fixing it. Until then, I will not be able to provide any form of instrumental accompaniment.
Actually, also in the background, because this is something Rock does, he actually would have, when he began brewing his potions and doing his work and everything, have taken out a music box. And I put this in Dark Souls 2 music, is what he's playing in the background. He's playing this. He has a music box of the Claire de Lune song, because that is the song he uses when he's working.
That's more like almost like a lullaby. Instead of like this is nice.
Yeah. This isn't like a response to Ace, this was just something Rock kind of just wound up and just started and just turned on while he was brewing. As he's humming along to it.
But yeah, after replying to you, Valencia, Atlas kind of returns to their fucking sentry state.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Does Ace, Signis, or Atlas have any potion and or poison requests?
Ace doesn't really have a potion request.
After a moment of like the silence at the campfire, I imagine Valencia would just like, she would probably start telling like stories of like her time as a dragon rider. Probably fangirling over Vendrick and just like telling specifically like their exploits.
Gilbert puts his hand up.
Yes?
He's like, well, let me pull out my road. Is Blanche, Draco de Lilith, Rider of the Red Skill, Lily of the Dragonrider, Lady Knight of Drangleic, and the one true dragon of this world. Now you're free. Will you go back to the Dragon Riders? As a matter of fact, wouldn't they be with you? Trying to rescue you out of this pool we all fell through?
Ah, well, about that.
As you see him just watch with kind of stars in his eyes.
I've been temporarily kicked out.
How you get kicked
What?
out?
Why?
I, Valencia Draco de Lille, got framed.
Was it? So what was the frame job? Was it something scandalous? Were you going out with this Vendrick feller, and the other night, another night, got jealous, like something out of a dime novel or something?
No, nothing like that. I got accused of embezzling funds out of all things. Treasury funds, specifically.
This one got framed once.
That may I be so rude to ask a question,
Go
which
ahead.
might be a rude one. Does that mean that you lost some of your titles?
For now, yes. I plan on restoring them by
So-
proving my innocence.
Do you still want me to use your temporary lost titles?
Could you just quickly, out of character, could you remind me what you call me?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yo,
Hold on.
this is what you get for having too long of a name. Both
This is truly a moment of all time.
That's what you bring me through the whole time. You knew what you did.
You know what?
Here, I've got it.
Yeah, you can call me that. Also, I'm putting this in my notes so that I remember for future reference.
Okay.
I think
So-
you already-
Still using all the titles?
Yes, you may.
Alright.
How much cash are we talking that they said that you embezzled?
I'll leave that to Vorti's discretion. I don't know how much money is left here.
What's it called? So,
I mean, technically, souls, right?
well, no, it would be money.
it's
'cause
both angles.
we're still using money. What's it
Those
called?
are treasury funds. They're probably $1 million or something, I imagine.
Whoa, shit, that would be crazy.
Those are more
That'd
of
be
a-
death penalty. Like,
Okay.
Maybe like
I'm gonna say,
maybe like 400.
uh,
You be getting like
I'm gonna say it's roughly, you don't remember off the top of my head your specific amount, but it's somewhere in the tens of thousands.
She'll say somewhere around a couple tens of thousands, I think.
you know, if you were framed or not, that's kind of impressive.
It is clear that this was a frame job. Otherwise, I would have expected some more engravings on that armor, or perhaps a mariachi band following you wherever you went.
Look, 10,000 gold. That'll take a bit of time to get through.
In the back of Atlas's head.
You couldn't even buy a new castle for that.
In the back of Atlas's head, they will hear, engravings may give no tactical advantage whatsoever. You're pretty good.
I hate you so much.
Is that an article? Is that one of the articles?
Is that one of the articles?
No, that's what their drill sergeant taught them when they were still being trained.
Signis is actually gonna lean up. I think it's much more visible now since it started to get dark. Signis's eyes look like fucking spotlights in the dark. They're just two fucking glowing circles behind the mask still. And he would just, yeah, he's just sort of looking down on Atlas and says, "Speaking of, earlier you referred to me as a phantom thief. How did you come to that conclusion?"
Well dressed. slick way of speaking, charismatic voice, able to converse with others. However, they are unwilling to reveal their face, instead building their identity around their fashion choices. Clearly a deliberate ruse in order to distract others when making an escape.
Signis like takes off his mask and just says, "Well, none of you ever asked me to take this off. Nobody ever commented."
You are also very traditionally handsome. Therefore, Phantom Thief.
Very traditionally handsome. Well, my, quite the compliment, quite the charmer, aren't you?
Not charm, observation.
There.
No.
Here's the thing Rock would actually do before bed. He would ask everybody who's gotten stabbed at all, like anyone who has cuts or wounds that were caused by beasts or otherwise, to come see him for treatment, because he wants to disinfect their wounds.
Alright. Shilbear, what you were about to say?
Yeah.
Nothing you say or do will get me out of this suit, Doctor.
You do not need to leave the suit, I just need to seal the wound.
What's it called? Shilbear, you were about to say something, I believe.
No. Everything I wanted to say, I typed.
Oh, okay. My bad.
No worries.
No.
Yeah. So,
Valencia would get up and have you clean up some of her, like, slash wounds from earlier.
yeah, he'll disinfect them a little bit, and for the big wounds you've got, because you did get stabbed by the great sword, he will hand you a rolled up piece of cloth and tell you, bite this and hold it tight. This will sting a
Oh
bit.
my god, he's that kind of doctor.
He
What
will
is
then-
that supposed to mean?
Signis doesn't say that. I am saying that.
Do not worry. It will disinfect the wound so you don't get sick. But it will hurt, but the process while quick will hurt a little.
It's iodine. Kind of stings a little bit. Cleans up wounds pretty decently.
No, because he doesn't have I don't think he has all the medical equipment, so he's doing and these are beasts and stuff, so the bacteria might be stronger because we're in the wild. He's basically gonna take one of his bombs, gently remove the plug, and will gently pour a small amount of gunpowder on the wound.
Oh,
Jesus fuck!
Oh shoot, you going that route?
So he's disinfecting and cauterizing it in one. So-
Hold
so-
up, before you do that, because I actually have known shenaniganry of that. That is a little bit dangerous method. However, AC in that, you taking gunpowder, what looks like gunpowder, like, hang on there 1 second. Asthma.
Signis is actually interested upon seeing it.
Now, I know that little trick with taking a bit of dynamite, taking the black powder out, and kind of cleaning, flash cleaning. Tends to leave a nice little scar if you ain't too careful. And Ace kind of goes where they have a water skin. Well, you would assume would be a water skin, but is a metal flask. And it smells of alcohol. Alright there, Val. Take a quick swig and pour a little bit on your scar. It's old remedy to help clean up.
Is he
What
making
was it?
Yeah.
Yep. Bit of whiskey from the birch beer whiskey from the Voyager Grand. Still good.
Rock would looking to her would state, "This one knows this method is not the best, but this one does not have the proper tools or facilities for wound treatment. upon them at the moment. So this is the next best thing to ensure that the wound gets closed and does not get infected.
To be fair,
I mean,
Valency does have resistance to fire damage, so gunpowder wouldn't actually be that dangerous to her.
It's just like you want to have like a gunpowder scar.
He's not using like a super lot. It's because he's good at measurements. He's basically just using enough to cauterize stuff and just clean up the bacteria because he doesn't have a lot of alcohol, and I don't think people want to get acid poured on them.
Yeah, like the only reason Ace is like a little bit shaky. Remember, she was with a bunch of gunslingers on the run, sometimes from the law. So, quickly doing that, she sees some scars.
Yeah, Rock will state, "Do not worry. I know the measurements to ensure that there is little to no scarring of the tissue. It is only enough to close the wound and prevent any infection."
I will say I'm more familiar with Ace's method, as she does pour a bit over her wound.
Stings, but not unbearably so.
Not explosively so.
Yeah, Rock would have cleared away all the gunpowder before. Actually, they stepped in before he went to pour it.
Yeah.
Rock will then just look to AR would state if they're willing to just go with the treatment because they've got a sword wound in their stomach.
They stare at you and don't respond. They don't get up. You can very clearly tell that this is going to be a very, very fucking unruly patient going forwards.
Yeah, Rock will simply state, "You do not need to leave the arm. I need to see the wound, pour in the necessary amount, and make sure that the wound is cleared."
Observation of my wounds possibly gives away the identity of the person wielding this power. Therefore, you will not go near me. I did not sign your consent form. Is that clear?
You did not sign, yes, but I would rather not have somebody get sick from something stupid like a common infection and die. You do not have the necessary. Do you have the medical facilities or equipment upon your person to prevent your wound from becoming infected?
I have survived worse.
Then if you get sick and suddenly get ill, do not come crying to me.
Agreed.
Brock will then walk away. He's not gonna force you to do something, but like if you get sick, it's like don't bitch about it later.
I imagine him stomping away like, what's it called?
It's just like he just waits and like, bah. And then he'll look to Signis and blast then because Signis got bit by the troll,
he didn't get bit by the troll at all. All he got was like a graze on his leg from a gunshot, which probably fucking, since bullets are hot, fucking cauterized immediately.
Yeah.
And
no, you didn't get shot. You didn't get shot. You got thrown at by rocks and then shot by lasers.
No, one of them he did get shot by an actual gun.
Okay. and the pursuer blasted him in the shoulder with the necrotic blast.
Yeah, so
there might be a bullet still stuck in him.
Like you'd actually just see as like he flips out. I think AR is the only one who would recognize this. Signis pulls out a fucking belly song, just like pries a bullet out of his leg.
Welcome back. Let's see.
Rock seeing that will go, "That was stupid," as he will then proceed to gently put a hand on it, like he did sign the fucking medical contract, and will begin immediately treating the leg wound because you ripped the bullet out, you ripped the thing out.
Okay. What's it called?
And he'll begin treating the hole in your leg.
All right.
So Signis doesn't visibly react or anything, but he just say, "I did hear earlier from Ace that you were looking for a little bit of entertainment, and I might be able to provide.
Silence.
Like, you're looking for a little bit of entertainment, and he's like, wait, what?
Wait,
Schubert takes out his drum.
Valenti just waits for Signis to start doing their thing.
Yeah.
Yes, but he just basically Rock just hands the cloth and tells you bite upon this, and he'll begin treating with the gunpowder because you just basically you pulled a thing out of your leg. I need to close it. You'll be bleeding.
Yeah. After that, Signis would probably he doesn't even honestly he looks at it, doesn't even flinch. It's honestly whether you do it, because he's sort of used to these sort of things. But afterwards, he sort of gets up and stands in front of y'all as he throws a few cards into the ground. As you see this wall pillar of fire or fucking it come up, and he just as you see he uses his silhouette behind in the fire or to make out shapes. And sometimes it even morphs into something that doesn't exactly look human as he begins speaking. Can I roll a performance actually?
Sure.
Watch as I roll absolute dog shit. Never mind.
What precisely is the tale that you're telling here?
Signis is actually relaying the first time the heroes had the night of the hunt, but he's being obviously very vague about where this is. He is just telling a tale.
Okay. Well, you are told the story of another land where horrible creatures roam the streets. For at least one of you, this sounds very familiar, but for the rest of you, it is sounds like a horrible, horrible place to live at. However, as Signis stated, the story is not without its heroics, as people often rise up to, engage in battle with these horrible beasts that roam the streets. Sometimes they fall before they are able to, fully arise. Therefore, they're able to fully, accomplish their objective. Following the line of duty is not unknown for those who live this type of life of danger. But sometimes they manage to rise above the bloodshed, above the impossible odds, and bring about a new dawn for those who seek it, or who deserve it, rather.
Yep, and I think a few of the things that nobody would fucking know who these dipshits are, but the silhouette of Gurman and Lady Maria fucking appears at least once.
No, those are some very elaborate shadow puppets.
Probably using
no, he's
minor
just using
illusion.
disguise kit.
Minor illusion, disguise kit, anything to assess your performance. Yeah, all right. What's it called? And as it is with the new dawns, well, the one inside this plane will approach. What were you gonna say, Rab?
I just said I am back.
Okay, welcome back. As after story time is done, you will all turn in for the night. Those of you who have your watches, today will take them. Nothing really will approach you during this long rest. I'm not going to just toss another pursuer at you in the long rest. What's it called? But you will be able to lay down for a peaceful night of rest out here in the wilderness, as the sea breeze reaches all the way over here. I will say, you all get your long rest in. Make sure to replenish all of your resources, health bar, hit die, spells, anything that recharges on a short or long rest as well.
When everyone does like eventually wake up, like they will see that like AR is not sitting by the cave, but instead kind of like at the edge of the camp, just like standing like a statue, staring out at like all of you. Obviously, like just as you sleep, just standing there.
He's just standing there, menacingly.
Yeah, I was just setting up
I
my
fucking
resource.
hate myself.
Setting up my resources to replenish, and I will max out my bombs. So I've
Good.
got 18.
Morning. Lieutenant Colonel AR 296158. How did you sleep?
Same as always. A dreamless slumber.
Okay.
The night was fine. There were no disturbances, and you all slept soundly.
Did I
Brock-
snore? Out of character, he would have. Very loud.
Quite a lot.
You'd also notice Ace still being asleep with her hat over her head, clutching all of her stuff, snoring.
Signis is in the tree in the same position. He's got the hat over his eyes.
I just realized I'm pretty sure there's one potion Rock can make. He'll need components for it because it's not on the list. That Atlas would actually enjoy. And that's the Watchful Rest potion, aka the one that lets you just not need to sleep for a long rest.
Oh, and Valencia's rolled up into a ball. So,
Yeah.
seems, Atlas, not a lot of the team shares your perchance for early rising.
Mm-hmm. Atlas is going to what's it called? Give me a moment. Is going to pull out. Let me see what's here. Yeah. They take out like a hammer from their smith's tools, as well as a large pipe wrench, and start banging them together constantly.
Rock was already.
Wake up! Wake up! It is time to move. Sunrise will not wait forever. On your feet, men!
Rock was already up, and he's making his way to Shield Bear with the potions he asked for.
I'm about to play a particular sound effect, so that might be a little bit loud, so I'm just bracing y'all for that. So, ready?
Yeah.
As soon as you do that, Ace, you see Ace kind of get jumped up and kind of kind of like if you woke someone up with a loud noise, they semi-woke, but then they went back to sleep and she continues snoring.
Semi-woke, not too woke. Just semi-woke.
Oh, God.
Like
They're not doing it once, by the way. They are banging these like they are making the fucking metal pipe sound effect constantly.
Like you get the feeling she's used to loud noises.
He probably left railroad track. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
There's
Rock
a train
will-
station
Rock-
nearby.
Rock will then do the next best thing and tell them, leave this to me, as he will go over to Ace and Valencia, if Valencia's not already awake.
Valencia would stand to attention upon hearing the loud noise.
Rock,
yeah.
Rock going to Ace, we'll take a small little swab, dip it in a vial, and basically put a little bit of basically put the cotton swab dipped in ammonia underneath Ace's nose.
Oh God!
He's basically trying to jolt her awake. It's like, here's.
Okay. So you're
Like,
trying to
that
jolt her
if you-
awake with smelling salts shenanigans.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, so you do that.
But he's making sure he's at an angle away from potential pointy trigger finger. He's doing it to the side.
So as you do that, you see Ace's nose twitch, and then kind of like,
and immediately quick drop as a ricochet goes around.
The shot rings out, and now you see like a number of birds in the distance just gonna like fly away in response to this.
Rock will state, "Welcome to the land of the living."
Ace with like Lady Luck, Kyle shakingly like, what happened? Where's fire?
Pack your things. We are moving.
They turn about face and start forced marching towards the fucking town, like just immediately.
Wait a moment. As Valencia slowly starts putting on her armor, it's going to take 10 minutes.
Yeah. Rock will offer a hand to Ace and will be basically explaining that they were trying to wake him up with loud noises, but and remember that thine does not like water, and water would not be. And since this one could not use water to wake thine up, I used a strong scent instead.
What the hell?
Sorry about that. I was just writing up the other song in the queue. My bad. Go continue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he offered a hand for her.
My nose itch.
That is the intention.
Okay. The thing is, the way like Signis does camp is that he sort of he had like cooked shit and then he had like gotten all his stuff in order and then he went to sleep on the branch. So the moment he landed on his feet, eat and then just like put his hat back on his head properly, he just walks up to Atlas, yawns, he just goes, "Alrighty, let's go." Like he's the way he's ready is like he already prepared everything, so he was just ready the moment he woke up.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
you got the same vibe Ace has. Basically, like, all her gear and stuff were, like, in her bag. So, most she has to do is just put on her, friggin' duster coat. And
Also, since Rock's kind of having to wait on the whole soaping thing, because it only takes like a few minutes to just make a scented spray, could I use just alchemist supplies just to make basically the equivalency of a perfume? Like actual perfume takes like fucking forever, but it's like he's just making basic scented spray.
Sure. I'll say because you're trying to learn from your mistakes here, I'll give you advantage on this check.
Okay, let me just get cancel and go advantage.
You can use
Also-
intelligence or dexterity, your choice. Go ahead, Schubert.
I don't know if you saw my question, but what
Oh.
potions did you end up making? Because
He handed you
I
a
don't know.
he handed you a potion of healing and a potion of growth.
common.
Yeah, it's just basically standard potion of minor healing.
And that is for 1 day, right? And they
It lasts 24. It lasts 24 hours.
Yes. Alright.
Yeah, he's basically, basically he's making, because he said he got like a lavender. He's basically making a lavender perfume.
Okay. So it sounds like most of you are ready to depart, which you will do just that, as Atlas said BRB, but you would follow Atlas, who I believe is leading the charge here in this particular travel. It only takes
As
you...
always.
Oh, go ahead.
I think
as always?
Gilbert actually would take charge.
Okay.
He is well known with the environment, and so he will just walk in front.
Ace, you check on Roland the horse. Roland, looks like also it's not super of an early riser. Like master like horse. What's it called? Roland did wake up with the loud ding 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 that Atlas rang out, and actually almost like instinctively did like a hind kick on whatever was close nearby. a nearby tree branch met its demise that day. What's it called?
Can Ace try and calm the horse down because she's worked with horses enough?
Like, when it realizes there's no immediate danger, and Ace, you cannot come up. I'm not even gonna have you like roll a check here. Like when he realizes there's no immediate danger and sees you like try to calm down, he does eventually like kind of begin to calm down a little bit.
It's okay, boy. You got spooked, is all.
Yeah. After that, Rock would walk up to Valencia and would, for the first time, call her, when he addresses her, Lady Valencia. I have made something for thyself, since I imagine thine is not used to, or at least prefers not to go long without bathing or supplicants.
Surely I would have had normally a bath by now.
And he would hand her, in basically a regular spray ball, not super fancy, a bottle of lavender perfume.
Ah, I see. Splendid.
This one was attempting to make soap for bathing and cleaning purposes. Is but thyself with, but ogre fat is much more difficult to work with. On this one does not imagine the rest of this group would appreciate or be comfortable using perfume, so thyself was the only one that seemed to be one who would enjoy this. As he hands her the bottle.
The only one who has any class, you mean? As she takes a sniff of the bottle, sees that it smells good, and just sprays herself with it all over.
Yeah, like, how
the only one with any class. Fucking look at Signis for a moment and tell me he doesn't have any class.
I mean, Rock doesn't know what you're comfortable with, and also he last saw you stick your hand in and rip out the organs of an ogre. It's like, you don't really mind being dirty or potentially smelling off. Ace is made of fire and doesn't appreciate lady-like stuff. Atlas is Atlas, and Shield Bearer is Shield Bearer.
Honestly, hilariously, weirdly enough, despite actually doing that really fucking visceral thing, Signis looks fucking clean as shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like Atlas kind of just circles back around. They will just yell,
"What are you all doing?"
Well, we have been going. Shield Bearer's been Shield Bearer's been leading the way.
Yeah, Shield Bearer has been.
I think I might have been gone for that bit.
Yeah. Shield Bearer has taken charge. He would have said to you Lieutenant Colonel AR 296158, because I know this land like the back of my hand. Could I take charge? I know the fastest routes and the safest.
Very well, that can be appreciated, as long as you make no more untoward comments.
That
like last time.
Wasn't me, sir. Please, I apologize for his behavior.
Okay.
You see Atlas kind of stare at you just for a little bit, for a second you're kind of worried that they might not understand, but they do just kind of go,
acknowledged. Make sure that he is under control next time.
I can't, sir. He comes out when I am in dire circumstances, and he does protect me after all. Please, keep your patience with him.
I then do further apologize for any corporal punishment done to your body without your surfacing.
Don't have to. I will take whatever punishment will come at us.
Come now, AR. These aren't fully trained soldiers. You can't expect that much of him.
Actually, we have trained for, I believe, 5 years under the best soldier there is.
I take back my statement.
You see, like, you see, Signis has the mask on again, but he's like he just cackled in response. Says it like cackles knowingly, like he's it's like an ironic laugh. He's not gonna like he doesn't like he doesn't like dignify a response or anything. He's just like laughing, like oh that's funny.
Yeah, like AR will just kind of like say to Shield Bearer, just
As you were.
and lets him lead the charge.
Also, a thing Rock would have done the other night, because I forgot about it, he would have used the campfire that we had to smoke the ogre meat he had gained, and basically his breakfast would take a piece, if it functions as a ration, and would offer another piece to Valencia.
That is fine. I'm not gonna have you roll anything for that. I'll just say you have your smoked ogre meat. Again, not sure if this is like taboo to eat it, but it doesn't seem like you quite care. So it is what it is.
Meat is meat.
Meat is meat.
It's like these are weird rhino-looking cyclops things. He doesn't really think they fit in any human cannibal category.
I mean, hey, whatever helps you sleep at night. What's the call? If you guys are... Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, does Valencia accept the offering of effectively ogre jerky?
Yep, she's just chewing on it as, she's just sitting on her horse, making her way with the party.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, before we march, one thing I would do, because this is actually a check thing, I would like to basically see if I can tell what sort of weather we'll be expecting during the day.
You can make me your survival check. You benefit from your racial ability from this.
Yes, so I had double my proficiency, so an extra +3. I'll just make an ability mod for it, and I'll just make it for weather.
Mm-hmm.
Where is global save? Global skill modifier, there it is. Wait, did I have that ticked? It is ticked. There it is. At the bottom. Weather-wise, currently 3, because we are proficiency 3. Ticket, normal, survival, and it's a 13.
Well,
unless anyone gave a guidance.
Even though it is a relatively low roll, I will just say that you're able to kind of more or less accurately, not like predict per se, but estimate what could be the weather you're looking at here. Doesn't seem like there's any like gray clouds in the sky, so it seems like it's going to be a clear sky for the day.
Yeah. Rock will basically relay that to the party if he's familiar with weather. If it was a nature, it would have been an extra 2 in there, so it would have been a 15. But yeah,
right.
It wasn't the best roll.
In that case, as you all begin to march forward, the morning, sun having just begun to rise up in the horizon. You guys all travel for around an hour or so. The buildings in the distance become a little bit more clear, more closer to you. You notice that the walls that you were seeing around the perimeter of the town are not actually complete. The walls, they already look kind of weathered even from like a mile away, but even now they look worse than you actually predicted. There's segments that are just kind of reduced to rubble as they have begun to fall off. Shieldbearer and Valencia, Signis, and and Rock. Obviously, some of you have been around here for a little bit longer than others. But even those of you who've been here years, the more you get close to this town, you don't remember this being in any map of Drangleic you've actually seen. It feels like you just wandered into a like an ancient, lost, like settlement, perhaps, a fallen settlement.
New town just dropped.
People just see like Signis like switch the grip on his cane in from the walking grip to the backhand grip that he usually keeps.
You see Super, even mid-conversation, just rush into town, looking for possible people, survivors.
You rush into town, and to your surprise, there's a number of buildings around. You don't identify exactly what the purpose of most of these are. Some look bigger than the others. There's one, there's no specific thing that you can tell, but a lot of them are in various states of disrepair. Some look actually more full, more completed than others. No signs of townspeople until... let me show you. Let me reveal on the map what. Actually, no, I'm not gonna reveal on the map what you see. I'm going to switch you to another map as I also switch tracks. And passing through the town's walls. It's as if you entered another world entirely. The current location that you find yourself at, despite the otherwise like dire looking situation in a town, is pleasant. Is a... It may be just the positioning of the sun. It may be just, like an illusion of peace, as it were. But it feels kind of nice in here, despite the otherwise abandoned nature of the location. I'll move you to this art.
Wow.
Welcome to Majula.
So, do I see people?
I'll describe to you what you see. You see what appears to be from the actual what's it called? Town that you from the actual walls of the town that you cross to get into the middle, as it were. You see that it actually extends for quite a bit of a distance. On towards your side, that is closer to the shore, the terrain kind of inclines itself upwards into and it ends in like this large sort of like stone monument that kind of almost like an obelisk made out of like white stone. To the other side, you see the rest of the town. A number of various buildings, and again, you can't quite identify what their nature is. Some look again more complete than others. There's even one larger building, larger than all the other ones, that almost look like a mansion, perhaps, that has been abandoned for some time. You would not immediately see anybody right away, until you hear a voice that kind of comes out from almost like literal nowhere. That voice sounds almost like very intimidating to a certain extent. What's it called? It sounds like somebody like speaking through like a full like helmet or mask of sorts. As you hear, contrary to the actual nature of the voice, a very gentle tone, being carried to it as you hear. Ah, you're here, Lady Valencia, and you're accompanied. Greetings. As you hear, you turn to the side, you see what appears to be three humanoids standing on the that seem to have come out from a nearby tent, actually. Three different tents. The individuals look like they're all dressed in like various different ways. What's it called? The first one, the source of the voice, as it were, appears to be this sort of like slightly lanky, very like thin but kind of tall, like Corvian, actually. For those who may not be familiar, Corvians are, well, the crow people, as it were. you see that the individual seems to be wearing like a very intimidating looking mask, as it were, to hide his features. But otherwise, you see bits and pieces of dark feathers, like around the round, I guess, of his face. And his arms and legs are also seem to be having this segments of like dark feathers jutting out of his body. A small pair of not like crooked, but clearly not like strong enough wings are like on his back. The other second individual was even taller than the first one, of slightly green skin, and even like sort of like a robust complexion. Noticeable like muscles that ripple through his otherwise like not appropriately sized like brown shirt. What's it called? And the third one, shorter than all of them, yet commanding more like imposing presence that even the two men here appears to be kind of like this somewhat not really dainty, but clearly more like a I guess fancily dressed female individual with long white hair and a visible I believe as a scar across her face that seems to betray her otherwise kind of like gentle looking features. What's it called? Fashion trend. The three of them appear after the first one speaks, and well, what would be the initial reaction of the crew?
Ace would look over to Valencia and say, "Are these some of your troops?"
Yes, they are. Hello, my dear servants.
The one with the maid outfit speaks up and says, "Lady Valencia, we were oh so worried. We looked all over the place for you, some harder than others." She looks over her shoulder to the other two. She's the first one to meet you, and like if you're still on top of a roll, and I imagine at this point, she's the first one to run up to meet you, and she immediately, like without you like waiting, kind of like rushes to your side and kind of begins to grab you by one of your hands and says, "Lady Valencia, we thought we would never see you again." The tall man at the far back, the more robust one, will say, "I mean, I was never really worried that you were going to be gone for good. I mean, you were just going to abandon us like that, right?"
Of course I wasn't. I merely got lost. Managed to command this ragtag group of commoners and make my way out of whatever cave I found myself in.
Signis just like fucking his head like snaps over. He just like command, and that's quite presumptuous. Honestly, speaking, I feel like our good friend Atlas here has been doing more of that.
A good
just
second in command, I will admit.
Rock would state to them, Lady Valencia has been, whilst not the most commanding presence in this group, has definitely proven themselves a useful member of this collective. He's trying to think of like what best way to call it. Like collective to this one. As for introductions, I am Dr. Rock von Heimdall, and I can attest that your Lady Valencia is in good health, and that any wounds they have sustained during the escapade have been thoroughly treated.
"Wounds?" says the one dressed as a maid, almost taken aback by the fact that even someone laid a hand on Valencia. What's it called? She immediately begins to like move around you, Valencia, try to figure out like where where you're hurt, where are your wounds, where are the scars. What's it called? The man with the crow. Go ahead.
If the well, I guess if it's been a minute or two, the maid would probably smell this really sweet smelling alcohol on Valencia's shoulder.
Is that alcohol? Lady Valencia, have you been drinking?
They had some for the disinfecting of the wound area, provided by our companion Ace.
Indeed, a temporary solution, since I wasn't be able to find you.
You cleaned Lady
I did not
Valencia's
have
wound with common alcohol?
I was
Look,
going to use
this is some top shelf alcohol.
I was going to use a different component that I had to treat the wounds, as I did not have the necessary materials for medical attention on my person.
She's like, at this point, like, the maid, is kind of, like, looking at you guys, and, like, like, she's giving you the evil eye, at each of you. And, but then the one with the crow mask, speaks up and says, "Forgive her. She is quite passionate about the protection of Our Lady. Introductions are in order. I am Fern.
Hello, everyone's a fan.
Hello. Greetings, Fern. Is thyself also a plague doctor?
No, I'm merely an assistant, a squire of sorts."
Fair enough.
As he
I was
says
curious because of the mask. I was curious because of the mask. He says he points to his own.
Before Fern can answer, the man on the, the bigger man with the green skin kind of like pats him on the back and says, "Oh, listen to this one. He's very humble. Name's Gwenolt. I am, I suppose the personal cook for Lady Valencia. And, we may or may not go a bit ways back."
You are the cook she mentioned. Yes, she mentioned that she would have you smoke some meat we had, though I had already done so the previous day.
Truly, not as good as your cooking, but... well, had to eat something.
What's it called? And, before I answer you, Shilber, the last one will introduce herself and say, "And I am Cersei. And, well, though I would have expected the present company to be next to Lady Valencia to be of, she kinda looks over at Ace, and, different type of caliber. I thank you for what it's worth for looking out for her."
Yes.
Signis would like bow or like do a curt little bow and just say, "Fleetfoot Signis, at your service."
AR 296158, current call sign Atlas. I will be under your lady's command temporarily until we manage to find a way to contact the relevant authorities about the dangers of the swarm.
Your lord has been a quite pleasant company, I would say.
That's a call. And, hold on, I'm just typing out something real quick.
Yeah.
Did I got that right, Katya?
Yeah.
Okay. What's it called? And titles. Damn. Why do you always ask titles? Give me a second.
Yeah, that is what your band does.
You asked Philbert for titles, and they all
They
kind of
don't
like
need
look
to
at each
have
other.
any.
They all kind of look at each other, and first of all, the first one to answer is it's Gwenolt, who says, "Personal chef to the Draco the Lily household." I believe that sounds about right. Does that sound about right? Looks over at you, Valencia.
Yes, it does. The finest chef in all of Drangleic, I dare say.
well, I mean, not to toot my own horn, but he can. And then it chuckles. What's it called? Fern looks over and oh, hold on. For a moment, I lost my notes. What's it called? Fern looks over to you for a moment and says, well, if we are to have titles, I am a blacksmith to some extent. Retainer and blacksmith to Lady Valencia.
You a smith too?
Very minor, tweaks and crafts. Nothing so grandiose, I'm afraid.
Well, it's alright. Like, you, even small little crafts and fixing up gear, pretty good work.
Well, I suppose I should give myself some credit. I did craft, or at the very least partially, craft the Lady Valencia's armor as you see it. Speaking of which, is it damaged in any way?
Other than a couple minor scratches, I don't believe so. It certainly did its job to protect me.
Well, I'm glad. And Cersei will look over at you, Shieldbearer. She kind of readjusts her positioning almost to kind of like give like a more proper stance, as it were. And what's it called? She will say, as I mentioned before, I am Cersei. I am the dutiful maid to Lady Valencia. And, well, I am also the overseer of the other two of her retainers. As she looks over back at the Gwenold and Fern. She probably would be satisfied with her respond to her with what's it called? She looks over at the other two. The other two just kind of like immediately kind of like nod along, like, oh she's in charge. What's it called?
What's it called? Like,
I love it.
Actually, like, walk up to Cersei and like mechanically very much like arm out, arm in against chest and like bow and just say,
If that is the case, then at the very least, temporarily, I will be under your care.
And looks up at you because you're probably way taller in the arm. You're probably way taller than her.
I know, yeah. I how tall is Cersei? Because AR is
Katya, analyze.
Probably like Valencia's height, basically.
Okay, so yeah, I know, fucking gigantic. Yeah.
What's it called? Cersei will will look up at you and say, yes, thank you for showing proper respect. Lady Valencia, you've managed to secure yourself quite a very respectful ally.
Indeed I have.
It is my duty as a knight of the Iron Cavalry to show all forms of respect when it is necessary.
Apparently not the Iron Cavalry or the Iron King.
The three
You have
of
to
them.
elaborate on that part.
Yeah, the three of them kind of look at each other, kind of confused. What's it called?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Shilbar.
Oh, sorry. Was I interrupting or?
No, go ahead.
No.
Alright, Shilbar would say, oh, in that case, greetings, Mr. Blacksmith Fern, Mr. Grawl, personal chef of the Draco de Lily household, Miss Cersei, the dutiful maid of Valencia Draco de Lily, Rider of the Red Skills, Lily of the Drangleic, Lady Knight of Drangleic, and one true dragon of this world.
It's just itches her nose like, oh lord.
Gwenold kind of like
This is going to get dull.
Gwenold kind of like puts like a hand on his temple and says, "Oh dear, Lady Valencia, did you convince this man to call you by all those titles? Again?
I am
Actually, no,
stupid.
they started doing it out of their own resolve. Quite the respectable individual, I would say.
Indeed, says Cersei. Fern kinda looks over Shieldbearer and says, so long as it's not too much of an issue with you using the titles all the time, I suppose there's nothing wrong with it.
Just
I
Signis
am
like
not allowed
it,
to
it
complain.
has Signis has fucking hand on on top of where the eyes are in his mask. It's just like, oh, this is going to get tiring real fast.
It probably will, but one day it will save someone's life. Mine.
What's it called? Valencia, is Cersei, no smells. You give me a consent. Ah. Is Rock asking this of Valencia or of Cersei?
He's talking to Valencia, yeah. He's not talking to Cersei yet. He's basically just currently asking her basically, because she's his patient. Like, do I have your permission for these things?
Also,
You mean those inaccurate scribbles of yours?
You mean the... They are not inaccurate. They are information that you have given me thyself.
I believe last time you called me, what's it, a half-dragon?
Yes.
The nerve.
Oh boy.
She is not fully draconic. She has draconic traits, therefore she is half draconic. If she was fully draconic, her head would be fully reptilian. She would have giant wings and be the size of her horse.
No dear.
Signis is just gonna like walk up to Dr. Rock and just like quickly sort of like Dr. Rock, it may be wise for you to quiet up. This topic does not seem to be very. He looks at like Valencia and Cersei. Desirable with his current company.
Rock just kind of behind the tinted, was effectively the one-way tinted glasses of his mask, just slow blink and just go, like he's clearly confused as to why.
Also,
Like if Rock tries to say anything further, Signis would like use the cane to like press up against the bottom of the mask to keep his beak shut.
as an
Rock
aside,
would slowly push it away and said, besides that singular piece of information, do I have thine permission?
As I said, due to the inaccuracy, no. You've insulted me enough already.
as an aside, I feel like
Very
I
well.
keep mispronouncing her name. Is it Cersei or Cersei?
Good question.
Because you gave me this
I
name, but I don't know how you
would-
pronounce it.
Personally, Cersei is how I call
Cersei.
her.
Okay. Okay. In that case, I'll try to stick with that pronunciation for now. As you guys are having this conversation, Fern eventually turns to all of you and says, "Oh, I suppose we should mention the matter at hand. This town, settlement, whatever it may have been. I looked around. We arrived, some time ago. Probably half a day, perhaps. And it indeed does not figure in any map of Drangleic that I remember. I believe this may have been built years ago and then lost to time. How did you all arrive here?"
We ended up, well, as I mentioned, got stuck in a cave, found this bunch, and after about half a day's traveling, we managed to find our way out.
They all look at each other, and though again there's a bit of a confusion to it, then Gwenalt will speak up and say, "Well, we're not quite sure how we managed to get here ourselves. We did remember being welcomed by..." Kind of looks around. Where is she? Oh, right there! He points at the shore, one of the cliffside shores, and next to this not entirely healthy looking tree. There appears to be a silhouette of a hooded figure looking towards the horizon, towards the sea. Right, strange, cryptic lady right there. She mentioned something about us not being the ones that she wanted to talk to. I'm not sure what she meant by that, but maybe she'll talk to all of you.
Thank you. I will be going then. Gilbert walks off.
As you begin to walk off, right before you walk off, rather, Cersei will say, on another note, before you go, this town, or whatever remains of it, seems to be, well, for the most part, fairly isolated. I do not believe anybody other than us have found this place yet. I think that, well, for now it should serve as shelter until we get our bearings in the land.
Truly, if it's not on a map, we might even name it after me.
Oh no.
I will have to make some. I will have to make some documents. I'll be back, says Cersei as she will rush off to one of the tents. What's it called?
Signis looks at the group. We are not naming this place Valencia.
I was personally thinking of Draco. Has a ring to it.
No.
What do you mean, no?
You already
He
got
just,
a big
looks...
head as it is.
Alright.
We need to move on. Let's meet the one that was here already. As Gilbert walks off.
Alright.
Speaking of, Signis goes to light the bonfire.
It's already
The
lit.
yeah.
You do
shit, it
see,
is?
so now that I get the chance to describe this again, around towards the side of the main path that leads up the hill, with the monument, there is a segment that is kind of cleared out, kind of the dirt circle surrounded by a number of stones of various different sizes. The actual middle of the circle seems to present a pile of kind of like ashy or ashen remains, rather. Looks like there could be some kindling there, but for the most part, just looks like a pile of ash. A pile of ash that currently has a flame that seems to be emanating from it. Doesn't quite make sense how the flame is still burning just with the ash alone as its fuel. But in the middle of the pile of ash and flame, you see what appears to be a coiled sword. That being, a sword whose blade appears to be kind of like this helix, shaped, object that it seems to be sticking into the pile of ash, that has the fire on it.
Ace kind of looks at the friggin' weird bonfire. Does it look like it's getting blown out by the wind? Because it is a sea coast.
It doesn't seem to be affected by the wind in any way, shape, or form.
Signis will turn and say, "These are bonfires. Think of them as safe spaces, I guess." I don't know the exact thing about it, but from what I've learned of the time here, that most people tend to respect the sanctity of the hearth.
I get it's a bonfire. We had a bonfire at the camp. Not fancy. I think they need some extra kindling, or maybe they had some magic to it.
Leave it be. Think of it as a small holy site.
They burn forever.
Huh.
Do you all
Not
approach?
quite so easy to put them out.
Do you all approach the figure at the cliffside?
Yeah, already dead.
Welcome back.
Also, Rockhead has also
Welcome
Chamberlain.
back.
Rockhead has Valencia thing.
Yeah. What's it called? You all walk over to the cliffside and you see, like I said, a silhouette and a figure, humanoid figure that seems to be having their back turned to you. Kind of draped over with this greenish, almost like emerald color, like cloak that seems to cover most of their body. You approach roughly around the 15-foot mark of her, unless you were to hang back a little bit more, before she seemingly just speaks to you as if she already knows you're walking up behind her. The figure says in like this very sort of like soft tone of voice that would otherwise be lost against the sound of like the wind and the waves crashing against the cliff, but somehow appears to be loud enough that you can all actually understand and hear her. And she will say, as she begins to turn around, "Are you the next monarchs? Or maybe just pawns of fate?" She turns around and you see this human woman with brown long hair that kind of even through the hood you can kind of see that it reaches a little bit below her shoulders. A good portion, like a fleck of her hair, is kind of covering her right eye, leaving only the left one actually like fully visible, seemingly at a glance. She seems to have like this very like soft features on her face, and her outfit outside of the green cloak that covers her body appears to be kind of like this very humble sort of like a brown cream colored almost attire that seems to be kind of like one of those like old-timey like old shirt and dress combinations. She looks over and why is she cute? She looks over after asking the question and almost as if she's expecting an answer almost.
Servants and slaves to fate I may be. I would rather be that than one so traitorous to claim the throne.
Could you imagine me, monarch?
I am one of King Vendrick's finest servants. Not a monarch, but a knight.
Signis sort of chuckles and says, "Well, I'm certainly a monarch, but I believe it would be fun, if that was a heist."
Ain't much of a royalty. Ain't no monarch or ain't no dang pawn if that's what you're asking either.
This one is a doctor. Well, and also an alchemist and demolition expert. This one bears no personal ties to any royal lineages.
What's it called? Anybody not answered yet?
I think that's everybody.
What you mean by that?
She kind of gives like a slow blink almost, and says, "Think nothing of the question, but I will note that it takes a great degree of, knowing oneself to understand where one's limits are. Most would jump at the chance of being the leaders of a great nation, city, country, and continent. But not you, it seems. You understand where your place is at. If only everyone in this world would be so lucky."
Truly, truly. Maybe if I train Fern hard enough, maybe you could become a monarch. But not me.
Don't think of the question. Why Sam Hill you asked that question to begin with?
Let's just say that I have seen a number of people traverse this lands, much like yourselves. Many of them sought to follow a great path only to fall short. Do you know where we're standing?
A cliff.
Drangleic.
Yes.
A beautiful coastline?
Yes, on all three accounts. Indeed, though small this location may be, it holds a degree of beauty that one cannot deny. And yet, it is but a small part of a greater thing. A nation, ruled by a most powerful and wise ruler. But almost none of you are from this nation, are you not?
Nope.
My sole purpose here is to convene with the actual rulers of this nation and inform them of the oncoming swarm that has entered this planetary sphere.
Looks at the rest of you.
Not as far as I know.
I am not sure what I shall do in this world, but my current goal is to keep this lot alive.
Born and raised here?
So I see. Indeed, it seems fate has dragged most of you out of your places of origin to wander these lands. It is in my experience that coincidences do not exist. You were all dragged here for a reason. You stand in this cliff for a reason. Out of curiosity, you wouldn't happen to have traversed a most dark path before heading here? Spoken to perhaps some heralds of great omens?
Are you talking about the old ladies that gave us stew?
Yeah, funny you'd say that.
Then it is indeed as I have seen. You are the ones that will change this land.
Go on.
Don't everyone changes the land?
Not
Just
all.
Different measurements?
Well, if you want to look at it, things that way, then perhaps. Some live their lives, well, following a path of righteousness, becoming valiant knights that protect the weak. And, well, others live their life in a very humble way, not wanting much, not looking for much, merely taking advantage of what they have and what they can. Others are not born into those roles, but pushed into them. One who may be born in nobility could very easily fall from grace and be forced to live the rest of their lives as peasants. By that same token, one who is born from nothing can gain everything. I understand that it may not make a lot of sense at the moment, but trust me when I say that I know when I see someone with great potential. And I know when times of change are coming.
Are you perhaps suggesting a great quest awaits us then?
In a sense. Also, what were you gonna say, Silver?
Yeah, he puts up his hand. Like, when she says that he can talk, he's like, when you say great potential, you mean me or Shieldbasher? Or us?
I mean, each and every one of you. Warriors, travelers, inventors. You are, whether you want it or not, shall we say, the norm in this world. High fives and stuff. Okay. She will then say, as I've said before, I feel when great times of change are coming, and one approaches Drangleic at the moment. An encroaching darkness, an inevitable curse. One has already begun to ravage the lands to the east, slowly approaching this kingdom as well.
What is the nature of this force, you say, that ravages the east?
A curse of life, I suppose, would be the best way to describe it. One that affects the living and slowly turns them towards the dead.
That sounds like propagation.
Would this be the swarm you speak of?
Perhaps a new strain, or perhaps the propagation has created a new aeon.
I'm afraid...
Either way...
Go ahead.
It is something worthy to be stopped.
I'm afraid you'll find this curse to be quite different from any form of swarm of vermin you have faced before. It is something that, even now, the greatest minds of this continent have sought to stop, to very little success. And...
Just asking. Signis being here for 3 months, has he heard actual, like, rumors of this?
You have, actually. Those of you who have been here have actually started hearing a lot of varied different stories from other lands. Well, mostly around Alken. What's it called? But you have heard rumors of that same curse that is currently afflicting Alken to also hit, well, Drangleic eventually.
Signis, like, turns over and just says, I don't think it's quite what you think. You said that at the swarm was these insectoid creatures, right?
That is the form they mainly take, yes.
I believe this may not be it. This is something else, I believe. Also, like, out of character, this more fits the abundance than the swarm, man.
Yes, Super would ask. You mean the huntsman the corpse, right?
That is one of the regions, yes. But I'm afraid that the curse runs deeper than just that. Deeper than anybody might imagine at the moment. I will try to not be so roundabout about it. I fear that should this curse not be stopped, it'll spell the downfall of not just Alken, but Drangleic, Elium Lois, even all the other nations surrounding this place. I hear that
is
it's
there
already...
any further guidance you can give us?
Only a bit. You will never stop this curse with a soul as weak as you are right now. Where you stand right now, it's at the precipice of both potential and failure. If you wish to change this world, to end the curse, to go back to where you belong, if we're to accomplish all of that, you must bolster your souls. And I offer you an accord for that end.
Oh god, that sounds like that sounds almost like the one from Elden Ring. Anyways,
I'm not so naive to misplace my thoughts and try to use common sense that originates from my planetary spheres. I understand that the soul is a quantifiable readable and tangible thing in these lands. So, I will act accordingly. But, how does one strengthen one's soul?
By acquiring the strength of others. In fact, you have already spilled blood in these lands, have you not? I can sense them. The souls of your foes slain, cursing through your bodies.
Do we really need to kill them? Is knocking out not good enough?
You can, of course, offer mercy. It is always an option. In fact, some might say that mercy might be the ultimate weapon against some foes. What matters, however, is that you find a way to strengthen yourselves. Be it by experience, by feats of strength, anything. I have a particular guidance on this. As far as I understand, most of you are quite familiar with the land of Drangleic. Your search will begin here, of course. And, well, with that, I will also allow you the strength to be able to channel the strength of the fallen. I believe for now this will suffice. You see as the lady seems to produce a sort of like feather from her sleeve, kind of waves it around. She doesn't hand it over to you guys, but kind of waves it around a little bit, and you all feel this veil kind of begin to cover you all. By the strength of the Emerald Herald, you have now acquired the ability to see the souls of others. And channel them into strength. AKA, now I can allow you all to know how many souls you have gotten from the enemies you've slain.
Yes! Yes!
Yeah!
For context, for those who may
Currency,
be watching
baby.
the stream at the moment, the way we're handling souls in this particular campaign is as a separate form of currency that only some beings will be okay with using. In some segments where when the curse has gotten a grip in the land, where currency, physical currency, is not worth as much as it is, souls will suffice. So for now, let me just make sure I got my calculations correctly here. You killed a handful of kobolds and 2 ogres. The pursuer managed to get away.
Oh.
I mean, hey, what do you want me to say? He'll be back within a week. What's it called?
Yeah, after he can teleport away again. Howard.
What's it called? Hey, this is why you need to track his ass down pronto. Where is Kobold? Way of suck Kobold at that. Okay. Everybody has let's see. Everybody will start with 300 souls.
Nice.
Yeah!
Souls per person.
Per person.
Signis will actually speak up and say, so far you've been talking to us. I just realized I don't think any of us have properly introduced ourselves, nor have you. Fleetfoot Signis at your service.
Yes.
That is true. Lady Valencia.
And as you say, Lady Valencia, she turns to Shieldbearer and says, "And you are Shieldbearer, and you are Dr. Rock, and you are AR 296158, otherwise known as Atlas, and you are Ace.
Then you also know my next question.
Signis looks fucking surprised. Like you can tell behind the mask. He's actually taken aback. He's like, and can he actually like try and peer closer just to see if his eyes like see anything in particular about this woman?
Well, the one eye that is visible from her beyond her hair. I mean, you can roll me an insight check, I guess.
Ye. No, I'm specifically asking, like, this is more like just an effect thing, like his eye specifically. Do they notice anything?
No. Like,
that is shit insight.
6. A mysterious lady, I don't know. What's it called?
Ace would interject and say, okay, Miss Cryptid, since you know most of our names and well, you did your little shenanigans of having us see the souls of the departed and whatnot. Exactly how does, well, going out and fighting some of these fellers equate to, well, us being powerful or what have you?
Ace, you should learn your manners. We haven't asked the fair lady's name yet.
All pronouns or titles.
You may address me as the name that was given to me. One of them, anyway. The one that you should know at the moment. I am known by some as the Emerald Herald.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Emerald.
Okay.
Come on. Is it Miss?
If you may.
Alright.
Rab, I believe we have an hour left. A little under an hour left, actually. What's it called? I think like 30 minutes at most. What's it called? Time there is a thing will be useful to work. Suddenly they do nothing. Under his breath. She will say, and to answer your question, Ace. Well, she kind of looks over in the distance, behind you guys, towards the, basically towards the land beyond the houses that are around here. She will say, the land of Drangleic is open to all sorts of opportunities. Ancient ruins left behind by other civilizations that stood where this land now stands. Traveling great distances, uncovering ancient secrets, or perhaps just making the right amount of friends. However, if you would ask my advice as to what you would or should do now, then getting acquainted with the people of the land, precisely the ones that are within relative close vicinity, would be the first bet. Thankfully for you, this town is at a point where, well, many routes can lead you to many lands. She kind of points, roughly, I guess if we want to just kind of name a direction, roughly like north of here. And she will say, beyond that route lies a fort and a town next to it, currently inhabited by the citizens of Drangleic. The fort protected by the finest of knights who wish to stand up against the tide of any threat that may arrive from the seas. She points towards the right, a little bit further, like north east, and says, "She's been cute in game exactly." And she points towards the right, like northeast, and says, "Beyond that route lies a pathway that will take you down a thorny path. The kingdom of Alken lies about a week's worth of travel from here."
Wait,
And- Go
just
ahead.
asking, when was Signis's last stop again? Where was it again?
Around Seldora, which is roughly like northeast from here. How's it called?
Yes, Signis would actually ask, "Do you happen to know where Seldora is? I left something there."
She points like northeast from here. She will then look over, point further east, and says, "To the east lies the ruins of an ancient kingdom. I do not know what name it may be, but perhaps the being in one of those buildings will help you out." She points at a building that's a little bit towards the eastern side of town. No, it doesn't specify what being inside that building is, but she points there, and then finally she points directly to the middle of town and says, "And below us lies the refuse of all things unwanted by Drangleic, where even ancient beings and their souls are discarded." You're not sure where exactly she's pointing? What's it called? It seems like she's just pointing to like the middle of town, basically.
How do we get
Well, that sounds
below?
ominous.
I'm afraid
What, their minds
that's where my guidance may end. What happens from here on is up to you.
Well,
Also,
Open world, baby.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
May I
baby,
make
a triple.
Rock would,
An
Rock would,
insight to see if she want to help us or just use us.
Ooh, that's a pretty big insight check, bro. I need you to make roll
Great
that
insight.
insight. Yeah, that's a pretty big one.
17.
It looks like she has had a very neutral expression throughout all of this. Only ever so slightly letting like small like smiles. But you feel that she does have a degree of stakes in here. It doesn't seem that she's using you per se. Just she seems like there is a level of personal investment in this ordeal.
Yeah.
Rock,
If it is
Rock
not
would say-
too much to ask, I would suggest that we head straight for the kingdom. Lady Knight Valencia, does this kingdom have good relations with your own king?
Which kingdom would this be?
I think AR is suggesting you take the week's worth of travel to Alken.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, Rock would I was quite about to ask as Rock, which I technically asked already, but I was muted at the time. Basically, he was asking where do we wish to go first, because he's not inclined to any which way.
Cygnus is actually going. Oh, go ahead.
We're here now. Why not help the people down here and then go to Falcon?
I believe we should go straight to Drangleic and avoid Alken altogether.
Why?
Why
Falcon is really nice city. Well, nation I meant.
It does not have the best relationships with Drangleic.
Cygnus is just gonna like shrug and say, "No matter what we do, I believe we're gonna need funds, and I left a cache over at wait, what's the fucking name again?
Sildora, I think, was the name of the town.
Seldora, or at least nearby. He just sort of just chuckles. Little, quite a bit of coin there, I believe we can use.
You offering to share?
Of course. Yes, there is no reason to hoard the wealth myself. Considering, after all, it came from the coffers of some avaricious noble.
In that case, I would be willing to accompany you if you would be willing to provide me some funding.
Would we still do the things here first, help people out, then go get coins, then go to Alken?
Certainly.
Great.
I mean, we're already here. Might as well take a look around, see if there's a mayor or anybody else who's got a shop opener or what have you. Or if it's abandoned, we could get some stuff.
So to clarify, Ace, when she was mentioning that beyond this route there's a town with the people of Drangleic, it seems that she was pointing away from the town that you guys are currently in.
Yeah, like apparently there's something in this town, but it's like under the town, and that's where basically everything gets discarded. So if we wanted to do that here, we could, but otherwise it's like we either go to the next town over, or we're going to like a couple weeks away to go to a completely different nation. Or
let's not go into a cave again.
But it's probably not this cave. It's more probably somewhere else, like under the town. Because if it was the same place we just came from, it would be the same place. But it's like it's under here, which would imply there's somewhere here we can go under.
What, you think
Speaking of, I will be right back. Signis just starts moving towards the town just to investigate the houses.
Okay.
You think we might bump into your little buddies again there, Val?
Excuse me?
But still, if we're gonna go anywhere, you're the only person with a horse. We're gonna need some food. We need some victuals. It's gonna be traveling's gonna, and yeah, like Signis said, we're gonna need a little bit of cash. I've got $2, couple silver, a little bit of gold, and a couple coppers on me. I mean, might be able to get a mule, maybe some food. Other than that,
I have enough food to feed all of us for 2 days. If we scout out this place here, help the people who are underground, make bonds, then we can move on to the next city.
I believe we should go find, an actual city. As opposed to staying around here too long.
Field Basher asked if you are afraid of the dark.
No, I simply do not wish to go into a cave again.
What is your passive perception?
It's very low, it's 11.
You would still hear Shieldbear whisper to himself, I think she is.
Valencia's gonna pretend she didn't hear that.
Well, also, what if your reputation around here, wouldn't you want to be the old gallant and noble knight and helping out people like you said?
Well, that is true. The reason why us traveling out of Drangleic was... Well, as I've mentioned previously, I've temporarily lost my title. I require funding.
Also, there's
Yes,
with these
but the
carts and wagons around, you're probably gonna need more than one horde.
One horse.
More than one horde. Yeah.
But yeah, continue.
the funding.
So-
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
The funding isn't gonna run away. The people who might need our help down there need our help now. You are a knight, right? Sworn to even help all people, no matter what.
That is not a definition of a knight. However, those people may in turn give us extra funding that we have than we might get otherwise, if we do a good job at protecting them.
Exactly.
Thank you.
I'll allow it then. We can go help them out.
So, just so I got this clear, are you guys actually which route of the ones that the Emerald Herald suggested are you guys following?
We in this village.
Oh, you're going just
under the village.
under the village? Holy shit! Okay.
Yeah.
What's it called? I mean, hey, I mean, don't think too hard on that reaction.
We're gonna fucking die. We're gonna fucking
this is
die.
the same thing as hearing your DM whole shit behind the screen and then saying, "Don't worry about it." No, I am. Boss.
We're gonna fucking die.
Let's find Needle, baby. God damn. Well, first of all,
Signis is gonna have to
wrong game.
drag your dead corpses out of there. I swear to God.
before I reveal that, Signis, you went to go scour the ruins of the town. What's it called?
Yeah.
You heard a noise in one of the buildings, and again, coincidentally, is one of the one that the Emerald Herald pointed to, about a being, some creature being inside. Do you look inside?
Yeah, as I said, he walks up and then he knocks on the door frame with his cane.
You don't need to look too hard to realize that there is indeed a creature, like right there, basically, in plain view. At first you couldn't tell what it was until it actually moved a little bit closer, into the light. But you do, upon closer inspection, realize that this creature is not humanoid. As it peeks from behind one of the door frames, one of the furnitures, my bad. You see this kind of large, like feline, creature pop up. What's it called? It's kind of like what's the name of the breed of cat that is like really big? A Maine Coon cat. Exactly.
Man.
So, it is kind of like a Maine Coon cat. What's it called? But with like slightly brighter like fur. Only darkening like certain segments. What's it called? It stares back at you as you tap on the doorframe with a cane.
Signis is actually just going to kneel down, just like the hand motion, like it just does that.
Don't treat me like a common house cat. You hear the cat speak.
He gets up, fucking jolts up, has the cane fucking pointed at it. And then just goes, oh, okay. That was unexpected. He just like writes himself. I apologize. Is about that.
What's it called? Oh, I forgot to add the Emerald Herald onto the journal so you guys can see her. What's it called? Thank you and Slaka on Twitter for the art. What's it called? The creature, the cat, looks over at you and kinda stretches, does like the cat stretch, and then says, "Put that down before you hurt yourself, and let's start with introductions."
I apologize. Fleetfoot Signis, at your service. I apologize for the it was quite rude of me to introduce myself that way.
I
Just
am
referring to like
Shalquar. Enchanté. And I smell despair on you. You're quite desperate to get back home, are you not? Shao Kahn, not Shao Kahn, Shalquar.
Shao Kahn! Cygnus, Cygnus, like, sort of, like, chuckles and says, home might have not been the nicest of places, but yes, I have sisters to return to.
As this happens, like the rest of you guys who like went back to town to see what was happening, you just see Signis talking to someone in like from like a doorway in one of the houses.
Fucking cat.
Yeah. What was it called? Do the rest of you react to this?
I mean, there's talking animals in Ace's world anyway, so she's not surprised. So,
Logging. There are feline life forms capable of speech. Or the Phantom Thief has gone insane.
Well, that's quite rude.
Insane? Insane, you hear the cat say. No, I think your friend is just the right amount of sane for this world.
He just sort of cackles and just says, "Oh, I wouldn't quite say I'm so sane either. The things I've seen are horrifying." You just see as he like looks down, fucking like 1,000-yard stare for a moment.
At this point, Shalquar jumps down from the furniture that she sat, kind of brushes past you, Signis, through the doorway, and basically steps outside for everybody to see her. And, she says, "Let me guess. You're the new poor saps who have arrived in town at the moment."
Yep. How you do? Name's Ace Brimstone.
She does like the very sort of like haughty pose, one leg up and like tilting head to the side, and says, "And I'm Shalquar."
Cygnus like resists the urge to pet the cat.
Cygnus resists the urge to pet the cat. Atlas steps forward and pets the cat.
Don't just go and pet. Don't just go right in.
Greetings, Shalquar. I am AR296158.
Your
Feel
hand
like
is too
the
rough.
like the
What's it called? They're going to heat their hand up, basically. Like, obviously not to burn it, but like, just extremely comfy warm.
Atlas. Oh my
better.
god, this is hilarious. We just see Atlas being like we just witnessed the Gat Moe.
What's it called? That's better. For now. And that will suffice. She turns away. What's it called? And then she kind of like stands in front of all of you and says,
And I believe I need no introduction.
Yeah,
"Yeah, lady blah 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 of the blah blah blah, and all of that good stuff."
That's right.
Ace likes this cat a lot more now.
She actually, Shalkor does actually wave her paw like around, like in a dismissive hand motion when she's saying that. What's it called? And then she says, "I noticed some of you were going down that hole, or were intending to go down the hole in town." She points forward, and indeed, in the middle of town, there's a gigantic fucking hole in the ground. That's it. What's it called? My advice: don't stand too close to that, otherwise you'll catch whatever things are down there. But, well, you're not just here to listen to me prattle on, are you?
I was actually looking for anything useful within this town.
Truly, if you would have any advice on what's down there, we would appreciate your help.
Well, for one, you have just found the only thing useful in this town, sweetie. You're looking at it. She kind of like does like puffs her chest out, like kind of, and then says, "And well, if you want my advice as to what you can find down there, how about you sit down and I'll tell you a story." And as she says that, that is where we'll end today's session.
I'm glad we managed to meet a talking cat. That's a good thing.
Yeah, Atlas's Gatmoy with the cat though is hilarious. like everything else. Sorry, continue.
In Dark Souls staples, there are three things in common: talking cats, fire maidens, and patches.
See if you find the third one one of these days. What's it called? But yes, that will bring us to the end of the session. We started a little bit later than usual, so we actually went a little bit later. And we also had those problems with the internet at first. But hopefully, those of you who are still watching and watch all the way till the end enjoyed what you managed to see. What's it called? Anybody wants to say something before we sign off?
Follow me on Blue Sky.
I was going to do the plugs. What's it called? Well, to do some shameless plugs for everybody around here. What else can I say except in the description, follow us in our socials. I didn't link my own Blue Sky like a dummy. But follow everybody else. Follow the Artful Bar at the Artful Bar YouTube channel. Follow Sukito in Blue Sky. Follow Kitsune Harmony in Blue Sky. Who we lose? Rab, damn. Follow... No! Damn, no need to shout. Follow Alderoftrees and any, I think it's Wattpad, or Archive of our own.
It's Archive of our own! I don't use Wattpad! I'm not that kind of degenerate!
Jesus, man, no need to shout. What's it called? And shout-outs once again to Sound Phenomenon for providing most of the audio ambience that you heard today. And shout-outs to Alexander Nakarada for providing our intro and end music. For now, this has been everything on our side. Keep watching along with the rest of the adventures and like and subscribe. And see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Hitting that notification button.
Bye.
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 Later.